1992, that's over 30 years. Carrier Factory Authorized Dealer. Rebates up to $1,275 for brand new Carrier units. Turn to the experts. Carrier. And you can always turn to the experts at millsair.com.
GimmeTheVin.com is already the best place to sell your car, and now it's even better with the GimmeTheVin.com Big Cash Giveaway. Gimme the Vin is giving away $25,000 in cash every month. There are 2 ways for you to win. Get 250 chances to win with your mail-in entry, or 1,000 chances to win if they buy your car. GimmeTheVin.com wants to buy your car. Whether it's your daily driver, your pickup truck, an SUV, a minivan, they got you covered. It's as simple as going to GimmeTheVin.com and entering your car's VIN number or license plate number. GimmeTheVin.com is America's best car buyer.
Let's be honest, Mom doesn't want another candle. She wants her favorite cocktails on demand. Meet Bartisian, the sleek cocktail maker that crafts premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Cosmo, pineapple margarita, old-fashioned. She's got options. So this year, skip the thoughtful gifts collecting dust in a drawer and give her the one she'll use all year long. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartisian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom. That's the one. Because nothing says I love you like a cocktail tailored to her.
Summer barbecue season is almost here, so up your hosting game by replacing your old windows and doors with the latest designs from Renewal by Andersen. One reason, peace of mind. With Renewal by Andersen's Acclaim Impact Windows and Doors, you're investing in a product that not only enhances your home's beauty, but also significantly boosts its safety and value. Sarah says if you're ever in need of windows or doors, please give them a call today. They will most surely give the treatment of excellence 100%. Renewal by Andersen's Window of Opportunity savings event is going on now. Buy 2 windows or patio doors, get the third 60% off, plus 0 down, 0 payments, and 0% interest for 12 months. Call Renewal by Andersen today for your free design consultation. It's simple. Dial pound 250 from your cell phone. That's pound 250. Say the keyword best windows and be connected in seconds. You will have the option to receive a one-time auto dial text message from iHeartMedia. Official partner of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. License number CGC 1527613. Do
you hear that? That's the sound of over 40 Greenway dealerships vying for your car when you trade it in at Greenway Kia. When dealerships compete, you win. We're offering as much as $10,000 over Kelley Blue Book for your trade. Curious what your trade's worth? Check it out now at greenwaykias.com. We want to see you in a Kia. From Greenway Kia, with 3 area locations to serve you.
All factory rebates to dealer, negative equity refinanced. Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushYard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
Not everyone who handles your personal information is as careful as you are, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
We are professional grade at Orange Buick GMC. Online at orangebuickgmc.com.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. From car accidents to personal injury cases, Mo has you covered. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Someone's going to get offended. It's just the way the world works. So to hopefully save everyone a little time and or energy, here's this. The opinions that you hear are those of the host and callers, and not those of iHeartMedia, its management, or advertisers. The News Junkie is on. The three best friends you never knew you had, running through the most viral stories of the day. The News Junkie Sean Wasson with Sabrina and C-Lane.
It is Tuesday, May 6th, 2025. Lots to get to today, from Real ID deadline chaos to celebrity names dropped as the Diddy trial starts, and Trump to pay illegal immigrants $1,000 to leave, plus your calls, dispatches, emails, texts, and more. Hey there, Sabrina.
Hello.
Hello, C-Lane.
What's happening?
And hello to you. You can join us on the show today. All you have to do is send us a dispatch. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Hit record on your first dispatch today. You can also watch the show on YouTube and twitch.tv/thenewsjunkie. Your message is rolling right into the studio in real time. And it is, friends, a Share the Show Tuesday. All right. Round up, everybody. Hit like on the stream. If you're over there on YouTube, hit that like button. It just takes a literal 1 calorie of effort.
Smash.
I don't even know if that'd be a whole calorie.
Half a calorie, just like a Tic Tac worth of energy. Click in that like button over there on a Share the Show Tuesday. Everybody else, spread the word. Tell your friends about the radio show, the podcast, or the live stream. And we appreciate you on a Share the Show Tuesday. How's everybody doing on a Tuesday?
Doing all right.
Not bad.
All right. How are you?
We're staring down the deadline for Real ID, so I don't know. I'm excited about
yours,
tomorrow
right?
going to be pandemonium. I think I do. Yeah, I do.
Yeah.
It's a star.
And I remain on the same side, believe it or not, as C-Lane on this one, where I say you couldn't have had more of a runway of time to get ready for this thing. But still, we will have dumbasses tomorrow that cause gridlock at some of these airports because of what? What was I supposed to do?
I personally know of a couple that is getting married in Portugal this week, and a lot of the party is leaving from town between today and tomorrow.
Right.
And I just hope that all of them are aware of the Real ID stuff. At the very least, you got your passport back up.
Yeah, you got your passport, so you'll be fine on that. It's going to be domestic flights that are affected by this, because if you don't have that stupid star on your license, they're going to go, turn around, get out of here.
Get in the car.
It's so funny because so many of you will go, it's not going to be a big deal. And it didn't have to be. But there will at least be some problems tomorrow because that's how dumb people are. Yeah. That's how, so many people will procrastinate. If you tell them, hey, this doesn't need to be done until 2050, they'll go, great. I don't have to think about that until 2049.9. And then all of a sudden they go, oh, yeah, and we still have the same catastrophe. So we'll talk about that in just a moment. Right now, let's put our ears to the ground, our fingers on the pulse. Let's see what's happening in this great, big, wide world of ours. And we go to Hollywood, California.
Hey.
Hollywood. Always up to no good. I have to tell you, I have never been confused like this in my life when it comes to a movie.
Okay.
But the number one movie in theaters right now is the movie Thunderbolts. You guys may have heard about this or seen the trailers and stuff, right?
Is that Avengers?
It's a big one. Well, no, it's the number one movie is Thunderbolts, and they decided to change the name.
Okay.
It's in the theaters. It's playing. People have purchased tickets to the movies, and now they're changing the name. Marvel fans, why? Why was this?
Because no one knows what Thunderbolts is?
It didn't matter. It was still number one. It was working at the box office. So, look, here's the thing in I don't know if it was Hollywood or wherever, but they had the whole gathering of some of the cast and stuff, and they had the movie poster. It says Thunderbolts. Everybody goes, all right, here we go. And they peel it back. And now it says New Avengers. And you go, okay, and they're changing the name apparently at all the movie theaters, on all the advertising.
Is that a we, upon opening weekend, realized we got to do it, or this was the plan the whole time, you think?
This was the plan the whole time.
That's stupid.
Because the movie had an asterisk next to it, like the title of the movie. But how does this make any sense? That would be like us going, hey, we've been working on this show for a little while, and sure, it's called The News Junkie, but let's peel it off, and now it's the News Hounds. Welcome to the News Hounds, everybody.
Back to the drawing board. Oh, never mind.
The News Hounds are on.
Ow.
This is the dumbest idea ever, right? We have worked all these years on one thing and the other thing. I don't understand it. Why would they change the name of the movie? Somebody says these people procrastinated for April Fools. I don't think that's it. No, I think they legitimately said this is a strategy.
May Fools.
Yeah, it's a little bit late on that. There they go. New Avengers. Woo! Yeah. The New Avengers even got Elaine from Seinfeld hanging out here and celebrating this. And it says they're going to update the title on billboards and posters seen in the movie theaters and on ticketing services.
It's still Thunderbolts asterisk on IMDb.
Okay. What about if you put in the local movie theater, C-Lane? Did they change it to the New Avengers? I've never heard of this happening in my life where you put a movie out, it goes to number one, and you go, let's change the name. Let's do that.
Yeah, but if this works out for them, then you'll see a lot more movies doing it.
Every movie just changes their name.
It's even still Thunderbolts asterisk on Wikipedia, which that's usually the thing that would change first because it's the users go in and do it.
I would think so. JD Bioko or something like that on Twitch says, this is what happens when you start getting high on your own farts. It seems like such a weird move. I know this was like something they wanted to do for attention and stuff, but now there's people who have literally seen the movie already as Thunderbolts. They went and paid to go to see Thunderbolts, put their money in, and now it's the New Avengers. They've changed the title. It's very, very strange. What do you think about this? Marvel fans, tell me if there's something I'm missing here. Is there some
I feel like there's something we're definitely missing.
Actually, Sean, when they released the Thunderbolts cartoon back in 1987, then they changed it to so there might be a thing, but otherwise you marketed the movie, you promoted the movie, you put out trailers, you got first weekend word of mouth, and then you said, hey, oh, by the way, let's change the movie from Thunderbolts to the New Avengers, which I don't even know if that, why is New Avengers better? Just because Avengers is attached to it?
They're new.
The New Avengers, the Thunderbolts thing was riding high in the moment. Okay, tell us, what am I missing here? What is going on that led us to this moment? Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com right now.
Still Thunderbolts at AMC, but they have updated the poster to the new one with the ripped off thing that says New Avengers.
Is this genius or dumb? I really cannot tell. I'm stuck right now looking at it. Smart because it's got us talking about it, or dumb because everybody goes, you guys got to go see this movie. Oh, really? What's it called? Well, you know.
But artist formerly known as.
or you would just say, hey, Thunderbolts was so awesome. Go get a ticket and see it. And your friend goes, I'll check it out. And then they go to look at movies. They go, hey, they weren't playing that Thunderbolts movie you told me about. So I went and saw something else. Like, this just doesn't seem like...
Rust instead.
Yeah, right. I was one of the 6 people to see Rust. I put my money down on that. No. No, it only made $15,000 or $40,000 or something in its first weekend. Yeah, it didn't do very well. It wasn't a huge success. But yeah, I saw that. I thought either I'm missing something that's genius, or this is one of the dumbest marketing moves Marvel has ever done. Weigh in on that today.
One of their taglines is, there is no I in team, but there is in IMAX.
Okay.
That's terrible.
Let's go back to the drawing board for that.
Yeah, this is all terrible. You can launch movies like this, Marvel, with new characters or characters that people don't care about. You did that with Guardians of the Galaxy. And essentially, I'll go out there and say something that a lot of people will probably disagree with. That movie was catapulted based on some of the stars, but more importantly, the soundtrack.
Yep.
The soundtrack of Guardians of the Galaxy was what lifted that movie up and opened it up for people who didn't know who Rocky Rocket or Groot or
Baby Groot,
the rest of them.
Teenage Groot.
Those folks in that movie, who they were. Was,
Teenage Groot and Ninja Turtles.
But that might be a good reboot right there. All of it seems just so weird. So I'm interested to get some feedback from Marvel people on that.
Email tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
Well, hold on. This just in.
Go ahead. Yeah.
They changed Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is now called the New Turtles.
I like the other name better, though. Box office money was going up. Now,
no, we don't like money.
Oh, this just in. The name of the show is changing again. We're no longer the News Hounds.
All right.
Nope. Yeah. Sorry. Brand new name coming up. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the News Quackers.
Quack.
We quack about the news here every day.
Quack, Mr. Ducksworth.
What if we just ran with that?
We would also be late on April Fools.
Stupid.
Exactly. But that's what they did here, isn't it? All right. The other thing I wanted to share with you, just because I thought it was cute. And we can have a little cute, right? We have room for cute on this show. The other thing in the world of movies, real quick, before we get into Real ID chaos and tons of stuff that's happening out there in the world on a Share the Show Tuesday, thought this was so adorable. James Gunn, he's the guy behind the new Superman movie that's supposed to do pretty well when it comes out. Trailer looks pretty good on it and all that stuff. But in the movie, Superman, there's a dog. And the dog
has superpowers too.
They had to get a model for Superman's dog. And so James Gunn used his dog, not James Gunn, but he uses his dog, scanned his dog in fully, and his dog is the dog that gets to be Superman's dog, which, first of all, how awesome would that be for your dog? Like, man, if like they scanned Lady or they scanned Carl or Lexi and they put one of our dogs in the movie, it's Superman's dog. That's adorable. So that's what they did. They 3D captured James Gunn's dog. Now,
for the newbies, Lady and Lexi and Carl are our dogs, a.k.a. the News Hounds.
The News Hounds, yeah. The News Ducks, News Hounds. The marketing is getting really, really crazy here, but
I'm writing it down. Don't worry.
The adorable thing is this. He's been screening the movie at his house and like doing some final edits and stuff of the Superman movie, and his dog goes bananas for its own version in the movie. So his dog is watching itself in the Superman movie. Watch this here.
This is my dog Ozu.
Dogs are going crazy right
now. Crypto was actually 3D modeled after Ozu's body. We 3D captured Ozu and turned him into Crypto.
He's barking at himself.
Anyway, every time he sees himself come on screen.
That's just a dog that barks at TV dogs.
I don't know. I think he sees himself,
No.
It's not even the same color.
No, it is.
It's not.
It looks just like him. And
I'm sorry. I saw a golden retriever on the screen, and I see a completely different dog on the ground.
He's not a golden retriever. He's some kind of other dog. I don't know what kind of dog. But it looks like him, and he's staring at the screen, and he's barking crazy because he sees himself
now,
on there.
Now, if you put the cape on that little real dog,
now
we're talking about something fun.
Adorability points high. See, there, look. That's the dog, and then there's the Superman version. It looks exactly like him, man. He knows. Are you guys suggesting our dogs aren't smart enough to realize if it's them on the screen?
Carl's very smart, but when it comes to the background noise of a movie or TV show, I have never noticed more than having Carl and all the B-roll or ambient sounds of dogs.
There's so many,
all the time, to the point where I'm not even home and I hear a dog. I'm like, oh, Carl's about to bark. Oh, wait, I'm not with him right now.
That's what Elvis did when I was watching my sister's dog for a while. That dog went
any
animal, a wolf, a cat, anything.
Guest dog would do it in animals that weren't even real. So, like, I was watching like a Star Wars show, like Star Wars adjacent show, one of the side shows, and there was a little creature that was like small enough to be a pet, but it was very much alien. Guest dog lost it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so annoying, too. It's so obnoxious every time that happens. But it was fun for him to do it with the Superman movie. I wish we could do that with Lady, but it's just impossible at the moment. Maybe someday. Oh, just in. We are changing the name of the show once again. The News Ducks did not test well with early audiences. We are changing it to The News Losers.
Wait, what?
Yeah, the News Losers.
Oh,
and
you could. No.
Well, it's kind of like the downtrodden crew but we won't let them hold us down. We're going to be successful despite the name. You know what I mean? Like Like, there's movies like this where they title themselves the Bad News
Sounds
Bears.
like the News Flunkies. Remember when we first started?
Yeah. But that was so
And then they were
corny
like
that it
eating
didn't
their own
take hold.
words.
Yeah.
Let's try again. Do that.
All right. The News Bruisers. Thought that was good. I thought we were on to something there. Thought we had something there. I was going to change the logo and everything. Get everything done, updated, and ready to go.
Just punch it?
We'll take your suggestions for our rebranding today on the show. We are rebranding
that'll
everything.
go well.
You could change the name of the show today and today only. So tell us what you think. Send a dispatch over to thenewsjunkie.com. All right, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, Real ID, the deadline is looming. What's it going to be like tomorrow at not just airports, but other places where they're requiring you to have these updated IDs?
What other places are requiring it?
Military.
I'm glad you asked. I'm glad you asked. We'll talk about that and the impacts that are going to happen because of this. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Threads at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
The left lane's blocked on Colonial Drive eastbound near Newport Avenue. There's a crash, partially blocking the ramp from I-4 eastbound to County Road 46A. Keep an eye out for a car stopped on the shoulder on I-4 westbound before Osceola Parkway. The left lane's blocked on Orange Blossom Trail northbound at 40th Street. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change. Traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Gatorland.
Gatorland knows you need more animals, more gators, and more fun. And now, Florida residents get what they need for less with $17.50 admission now through the end of May. We know what y'all need. Y'all need Gatorland.
Joe Rossi from Greenway Kia here. Tariffs are hitting the auto industry hard, but we're ready. We loaded up on brand new Kias across all 3 locations. Right now, they're in stock and tariff-free, with interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, take $3,000 off any new 2025 Kia Sportage. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Stock number SG292557. MSRP $30,840. Qualified applicants through KFA. 0 down. $13.88 per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR financing. Plus tax, title, license. $8.99 dealer and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/31/25.
Future health, weight loss.
Ozempic, but in a pill? It's called oral semaglutide and is now available from Future Health. Ozempic, but without the painful injections. Go to futurehealth.com to get easy and affordable access to oral semaglutide, Ozempic, and Zepbound for only $3 a day. No insurance needed. Join those losing 10 pounds in their first month. Visit futurehealth.com. Future without the E to start losing weight this week.
Future health, weight loss.
Data based on independent study sponsored by Future Health. Future Health is not a healthcare services provider.
Go Mike Squad. Yes, technically, I've been working on the branding of the show for a long time. Oh, you got a banana? But it's never too late to change the name. Ooh. Can I get a little salt on it?
No.
Why not?
I'm not taking requests. Either have a banana.
You don't ever put salt on your banana?
No, I don't.
What if I just eat the whole thing?
I have other bananas if you want the whole thing. That was a big bite.
No, it wasn't. It was a regular size bite. No, it wasn't.
Oh my God.
No, well, get out of here. It was a regular bite.
Bananas.
You're gone. Bye. These interruptions are unbelievable. Yes, we've been working on the branding for a long time. Yes, I've been working on the branding for 20 years. The News Junkie, the News Junkie, the News Junkie, the News Junkie, the News Junkie. Yes, millions of people have heard that. Yes, but what better time than now to change it all? I've seen the news wankers. What else do you guys got? The news printers? The news printers is funny. It's a thinker, though. New people who just come into the show are not going to understand why it would be that. banana that's out there? No way, dude. You take a banana, you unpeel the shell, you get the banana shell peeled down, and then you put just a couple of, like a Salt Bae on the top of the banana, and then you take that bite, and then you Salt Bae again as you go down, and you just bring the banana shell all the way at the end, and you finish it off, and it's so much better. Bananas with salt are so much better. 10 times better. I know with banana, everybody goes to peanut butter and all this kind of nonsense, but I will tell you unequivocally, the best thing on a banana is salt. And coarse salt is even better because bananas don't have a lot of there's not a lot of texture going on there, so the salt gives you that plus that, bam. Fake news crackheads. Now, I'm kind of partial to fake news crackheads, if I'm honest with you. Because think of the graphics. The graphics potential is huge. Fake news crackheads. And like a cracked out baby. Love it. 2 minutes. Salt Bae Nana? That's a decent name for it. Decon says, that sounds surprisingly disgusting. I assure you, it is not disgusting. Open your mind. Just like the first time you ever had a banana, you were probably like, what's this thing? And you didn't want to eat it. And then you had it and you're like, oh, bananas are pretty good. Now you'll be able to experience the world of having a banana with a little bit of salt on it. And you'll go, what was I thinking? That's way better. You can mix it up too. You can put pepper on there if you want. You could do a hot sauce drizzle, but those are more advanced. That's not for everybody. If you get all the way up into the advanced levels, there's a ranch dip. And if you take the banana fully out of the shell and dunk it into the ranch, like a full dunk, like a bath, the banana gets a bath in the ranch, and eat that, it's very, very good. All right, we're coming back, folks.
That gives you a tax break on $529. That's great. But don't invest those dollars once you put them in.
We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right? You want that tax advantage money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money, de-risking is crucial.
In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
Look to Orange Buick GMC for your next truck at orangebuickgmc.com. We are professional grade.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GRAND, G-R-A-N-D, GRAND. Enter it now on our website at realradio.fm and answer your phone if you get the call. Good luck.
Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is...
It's going to go down at the airports, the ports, and all the other places that could be affected. Y2K, question mark? It could be. We'll find out in just a moment. Join us on the show. You could send a dispatch at thenewsjunkie.com or an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Real ID has been something that you've been warned about for a very long time, but on account of people are dumb, this is going to be this last-minute thing. Like we heard about a couple of states where the DMVs were just being crushed by a rush of people last minute trying to get their IDs updated so that they have the real ID, the star. And if you're wondering, am I going to be in trouble when this deadline happens, just simply take your ID out of your wallet, take a look at it, and I think it's usually on the top right, there's a little yellow star.
And if you have that yellow star, your identification, your license is good to go. You're set. If you don't, big trouble, especially if you're trying to fly somewhere. Like, they will literally turn you around at the airport tomorrow if you don't have that.
There's so many people that are going to be shook.
Yeah.
I have some little star stickers if you want to buy them, guys.
You know, that doesn't count. You can't do that.
Sure it doesn't count?
You know what's even more confusing? There's 5 states. Among them, our friends in New York, you're on the state where this doesn't matter. Michigan, Minnesota, Vermont, Washington, all those states, you don't really have to have it. You don't need to have it. They have EDL or enhanced ID, which I guess is accepted by Homeland Security, so that will work for you. And yeah, 5 states aren't requiring real ID, but all the other states will. So then you got to wonder, like, what if I'm in Rochester and I fly down to Miami? If I do that and then I fly back from Miami to Rochester, is it now like my ID is accepted because I got the New York ID and I don't need the real ID thing? Or, hey, I'm flying out of a different state now. I do need it and I don't have it. This is like half of the problem that we're going to see with people running into this starting very early tomorrow morning. Real ID is a state-issued driver's license or ID card that meets the minimum security standards. This was enacted upon the 9/11 Commission's recommendation, and we're just now getting around to this.
Got it.
It's been a little while. We're just now getting around to this. So what if you don't have one? Let's see. Here is 13 News Now talking about
Starting
this.
on Wednesday, federal agencies like the TSA will begin to enforce real IDs. Now, Virginians are not required to get one, but without a real ID or another federally accepted form of identification, you won't be able to access federal buildings, military installations, or nuclear facilities.
Damn, I can't even go to nuclear facilities tomorrow.
That ruins my summer vacation.
You say Virginians?
Yeah, he said Virginians don't have to legally have it.
Oh.
But if you want to use anything that the feds are hooked into, you got to have real ID. So, like, if you have an old ID right now, Celine, and you don't have real ID, you're fine. You can still drive as long as your license is not expired. But if you go to the airport or you go to that nuclear facility, like I was thinking about going to this week, if you don't have,
They have a nice
your
little
real
cafeteria
ID,
at the nuclear facility.
So good. It's so good.
The avocados are uncannily huge.
Just massive.
They glow in the dark.
But you can't get one of those delicious giant nuclear avocados if you don't have real ID on your license, and that's the problem.
It also means you could have to take additional steps before boarding domestic flights. Brianna Fallon joins us in the studio with more. Brianna.
All right, Brianna,
tell us. Connor, so if you're planning to fly within the United States soon, it's still important to get a real ID. But if you aren't able to get one before your next flight, or if you're choosing not to get one, there are still ways for you to get through TSA checkpoints.
Who's choosing not to get one? I know Alex Jones ran it against this once because I saw some dumb clip. And he was mad and he said, like, you know, real ID will make you eat your neighbors.
He's
or
a big
whatever.
9/11 fan.
He is true. It's very true. So he was up in arms about that and upset.
I'll admit it. I will eat my neighbors.
He was very angry about real ID. But most normal people, I don't think, really care that much. It's just whether they have it done or not. So what's she going to say?
You might just need to go through alternative screening.
All right, like what?
After years of
So you
pushing
still
back
can
the
get
initiative,
through?
the enforcement
Maybe.
of real IDs goes into effect in just over 24 hours. And when it comes to getting through TSA, you'll want to have your real ID handy.
It's going to affect every airport across the United States.
But if you do not have a real ID and plan on flying domestically, there are other valid forms of identification TSA will accept, like a passport or military ID. If you don't have another accepted form of ID and only have a state-issued driver's license,
All right,
Has everyone's information.
This is the important, but these are all samples. Sample
Yeah, that's
sample is
somebody's
in,
address. We know it.
sample's in big trouble here from 123 North State Street. These driver's licenses, if you don't have them and you don't have a passport and you don't have a military ID, here's what you have to do, I guess.
there may be extra steps you need to take before hopping on an airplane.
All right,
You
like
may
what?
be subjected to additional screening from the TSA.
According to TSA's website, if you try to use a license that is not Real ID compliant, TSA officers might ask you to complete an identity verification process.
Come with that ID, even if it's not Real ID compliant, and they will find a way to accommodate you and get you on.
That's a dumb idea. They should have just said real ID or nothing. Now they're going to have all the dodos come up and they're going to go, here's my ID. Oh, it's not real ID. Okay, now we have to begin the verification process with you.
The news said that you guys were going to be, helpful with all of this.
Yeah.
Find ways that we could work around it.
There's extra screening. So I guess I just go through the body scanner, right? And they go, no. Hold on. Now the whole line has to wait while we try to verify if you're really John Smith from 123 State Street. That's what's going to happen here. That makes things even worse, honestly. I think that's going to be a bigger problem. But what do you think? Are you flying tomorrow, and do you have this issue? Let us know. Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. An interesting story out today about near-death experiences. Or, I've never heard them called this, but have you ever heard of NDE? That's what they say.
I never heard it called like that. I know what a near-death experience is, but I never heard it shortened.
NDE, yeah, and I never heard of that. But I have had a near-death experience. I had a couple of them in my life. And I don't know if it led to this for me, but they say it often leads to people dramatically shifting things in their life. Big changes. Near-death experiences will change you forever, they say. And I'll tell you the details of this, but if you've had a near-death experience, we want to hear about it today. All right, it's another thing we want to hear. And we want to hear how it changed your life. So, like, what happened to you that was a near-death experience, and how did it change your life in the end? Send us a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. I've told the story for me where I was on the Incline Railroad, I think is what it was called. And my whole family was in there. And I was pretty young, so I didn't know exactly what was going on. But there was an error, and something happened where the cable from the other car was smashing against the side of our car. And it smashed all the windows out in the car. And we were flailing around in the air and dropping and stuff. And it seemed like this air tram kind of thing that we were on, this old school, it's hard to explain, but it's like an incline. Yeah, the cable car is a good way to say it. Like a cable car, it was about to fall from the sky. We all would have died. It was a 50, 60-foot fall or something. We all would have died. And again, I was little, so it didn't connect too much, but my mom and my sister were bawling their eyes out. People were praying everywhere. Everybody thought we were going to die. And then we got off, and then I've told the story afterwards about how I had left crayons on the dashboard of my dad's car.
Oh, God. Made it even worse.
And after the near-death experience, my dad just yelled at me for 15 minutes for leaving the crayons on the car, and they melted everywhere. But it will change you, apparently. Didn't change me. But it will change you if you have this kind of thing impact you, a near-death experience. And they say most participants, people who had this and talked about it with this study, either changed careers or redefined how they approach their jobs after a near-death experience. They prioritize spiritual fulfillment, empathy, and authenticity over external successes. They stopped caring about money so much afterwards. It seemed trivial to them to worry about getting more money and more success in their careers, and they turned to purpose-driven work and meaningful connections, this said, after these people had a near-death experience. So did you have one? Let us know, and let us know if it changed you afterwards. Okay, let's see. We've got people chiming in with lots of different things today. Let's go to the Bruise Junkie, who's going to try to rebrand the show. Please not.
What's up, gang? Hi. Y'all are my wolf pack, and I am loving listening to the rebranding. But when I just heard the latest name, the News Bruisers, my God, this really resonates with me.
It's for you, buddy.
So that's it. From now on, y'all are the News Bruisers to me.
I've heard News Printers as a suggested rebranding for us, which is too deep cut for newbies. They won't know that it's because I print all the stories over here like it's 1999.
That's what you think that name meant? Not just that the news came in print?
No, I think that's what I think it was about. Maybe we get clarification. Maybe you're right. I don't know. The other one was fake news losers or something. It was less mean than that. It was less mean. This is all based on the idea that the Thunderbolts has the #1 movie in the country, and they just decided to rename the movie. They're now the new Avengers. Strange strategy. Nate has some more information on this.
Hey, Sean, the renaming of the Thunderbolts movie to the New Avengers apparently was all part of the plan. The end scene credit at the end of the movie shows them changing the name from Thunderbolts to the New Avengers. So Marvel had that planned all along.
Spoiler alert.
Have a good day. Wiggle, pop,
Hey,
pop.
look, I was not under the impression that Marvel didn't plan this out. I was just saying, is this genius or is this a dumb idea? The reason why I was saying it was a dumb idea is you have the #1 movie in the country. If people went out and said, hey, I like that movie Thunderbolts, it was really good. Word of mouth is incredibly important with a movie. Somebody goes out and goes, man, the Thunderbolts movie was great. Go see it. And then they change the name of the movie at all the theaters. It looks like they're not playing the Thunderbolts here. All they have is the new Avengers. That was my point on this, but maybe it's genius. Here's Sheepdog.
The naming thing with Thunderbolts to the new Avengers might be dumb or genius. I don't know. To this day, you still say X or Twitter or whatever. So, I mean, it can work. It could be something. Anyway, yeah. Happy Tuesday.
Thank you, Sheepdog. Happy Tuesday to you, too.
I have some ideas when we bring this back as far as our new rebranding name.
Oh, really? Can we have one now? Because right now we're stuck on, what was it, the News Bruisers, and that's not. That's bad. So,
all right.
go ahead.
You're listening to the Infoholics Anonymous.
Ooh. Now, that seems more like
we drink a lot of booze.
Well, it could be one of our meetings. Like Infoholics Anonymous would be a meeting of the News Junkie, and then that would be like an associated thing. But it's better than the News Bruisers or the News Ducks. What was that one? I forgot now. It wasn't great.
The News Losers.
The News Losers.
Trying to do a rhyme thing.
Yeah, there's a lot
News
of
Quackers or something.
Yeah, it's all been bad. It's been a bad ride.
Truth Serum Radio. Suck
again,
on it.
That sounds like a tagline. It's like the News Junkies. Truth Serum Radio. Bum, bum, bum. You got one more?
Loud, live, and loony.
That's rejoin material. Like the voiceovers.
I'll send this over to you then.
We're loud, live, and loony.
Loony, I don't like it. You don't like it, loony? News schmooze.
The news schmoozers. Schmoozing up the newses.
Not great. But better than the News Bruisers still. We'll see what you have for us. Let us know. Send a dispatch with your suggestion or with your near-death story or anything else you want to chime in about the show so far today. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. Record an audio or video dispatch right now. The Media Monkeys. All right. Flonase News. The News Peddlers says one hell of a punk rock show. Okay, lots of suggestions over there.
Flow News.
Flow News, all right. When we come back, air traffic controllers melting down in Newark. And as a result, a bunch of them have taken time off for the stresses that incurred when they had an issue. In fact, they took quite a long time walking off the job, and they won't be helping all these folks out who are trying to keep the plane safe at Newark Airport. But what really happened here? What is the lowdown? We'll find out together. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
This weekend, Real Radio 104.1 smells like the 90s.
You tell me that you love me so, you tell me that you care, but when I need you, baby,
Afternoon highs climbing into the upper 80s and low 90s. High around 90 today in Orlando. We'll see about a 40% chance of some afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms, and these will be sticking with us just about every single day this week, and especially into the weekend with a 70% chance of rain on the way for Saturday and into Mother's Day. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Discover. Guess what? Discover's accepted at 99% of places that take credit cards nationwide. You heard right, 99%. If you don't think so, maybe it's time to face facts. You're stuck in the past. Based on the February 2024 Nielsen report, learn more at discover.com/credit card.
Don't wait for hurricane season to begin. You should start thinking about protecting your home and doing it now with hurricane windows from Reese Windows and Doors. My friends at Reese Windows, they've been installing windows for over 50 years. They've done it all around the state of Florida. They're experts. They know what they're doing. Most of these packages installed in just 6 to 8 weeks, and they've got plenty of financing options available, including 0% for 4 years. And all of those affordable, energy-efficient hurricane impact windows come with a double lifetime warranty. When you sell your house, that warranty transfers That increases your value and your peace of mind. So why wait? Get a free quote today and register to win $15,000 in free windows from our friends at Reese Windows and Doors. What do? You pick up your phone. You text the word WOW to 20129.
See you later, alligator.
Okay, we need to go to Total Wine at some point.
Okay, microphone's on, just in case you're wondering.
'Cause,
For what? THC drinks?
yeah, I don't want spicy lemon, and I didn't like citrus.
I'll do the spicy lime ones. You get whatever one you want.
I want berry.
Fine, Barry. I'll just call you Barry from now on.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's okay.
It would be. Unless it was just you and your name was Barry. That doesn't change anything. All right, see you later.
Okay,
bye. Hello, Skull Mike Squad. Excuse me. The news hounds. Oh, oh, oh. Has the chat been off the rails today or what? I don't know. It generally is. If it's not, then something's gone wrong. And at least it's not something political right now. Though that'll stir everybody up. We'll do it at some point today. We'll get into some political stuff. I'll tell you what's crazy though. This Newark airport thing where these workers for the ATC, air traffic control, they said their systems went down because there was like a wire that frayed. Like one wire took down all the systems at Newark Airport. And the screens went black for a short period of time. And they had to guide all the planes in. And I think 5 employees were so traumatized that they've taken like PTSD leave. Which to me is pretty wild. Like imagine you have a rough day at work and you're like, oh, I need PTSD relief. I get it. It's a stressful job, but that just seems like you have a policy and then people are taking advantage of it. Because you know what? People are lazy. Lazy, capital L. People are lazy. So if you go, hey, anyone who is traumatized by yesterday's actions, and feel free to take their emergency leave for mental health time. You go, okay. And I forgot how long it was, but I think it's like several weeks or something that they took off. It's crazy. All right, we're coming back.
Study of acceptance insurance customers who reported saving when they switched. License number L012294.
This is the story of the one. As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
It's time to let your Fringe flag fly. The 2025 Orlando International Fringe Theater Festival, May 13th through the 26th in Lock Haven Park. Tickets available now at orlandofringe.org.
This earful of real radio is brought to you by JustCallMo.com. Injured on the go? JustCallMo.com.
Radio. 104.1. Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips@thenewsjunkie.com.
Radio show, podcast, and live stream. You are listening along with us and hanging out. And if you want to know more about the show, you can go to the website, which is big shocker, thenewsjunkie.com. I might sound like I'm being a little mean here, but I'm just going to be real with you. I've been watching what's been happening in Newark with the airport just grinding to a halt there, basically. This was the airport. We talked about them the other day, Sabrina and Celine. You remember that there was 8-hour delays for people to get their luggage. There were planes delayed on the tarmac for hours and hours and hours. And this obviously is so much bigger than just Newark Airport. It's way bigger than that because it affects all of the planes that are flying into the airport and out of the airport. Thus, it affects all travel domestically. And it turns out what led to this big meltdown at the airport in Newark was one frayed wire. There was a wire.
Way. I do not believe you.
The report I saw, I don't have that story in front of me. Celine, can you look up Newark wire or something and try to find that? Because the story I saw was that one wire was responsible for taking this system down and making all their systems black out for a short period of time.
A single burnt wire caused horrifying 90-second Newark Airport traffic control outage. And then further after that, the outrage came. But first there was an outage.
How long did you say? How long?
90 seconds.
90 seconds.
That's a long time to not know where the planes are. A fried piece of copper wire sparked a 90-second radar and communications blackout for air traffic controllers overseeing Newark Liberty International Airport, according to a source familiar with the incident.
Yeah. Okay. So now
That's
90
insane
seconds.
to me that just one wire does that.
It's old. All their equipment is old. They've got stuff that's just not up to date because it's so important. They don't want to swap it out. They probably need to do that in the very near future. But my problem with this is now there's major delays still because of this airport. It was started by one frayed wire that Celine just told you about. Their systems blacked out for 90 seconds, meaning that they didn't know where the planes were and they had to scramble for 1 minute and 30 seconds. They had to scramble to try to land the planes or get them where they needed to or hold everybody, hold everybody.
I don't think you can hold people while you can't talk to them.
They still had communication with some of the planes.
It says air traffic controllers in Area C of the Philadelphia TRACON, who are responsible for separating and sequencing aircraft in and out of Newark, temporarily lost radar and communications with the aircraft under their control, unable to see, hear, or talk to them.
Oh, so they couldn't even talk to him. All right. I thought they were still able to talk to him because I heard some communication stuff. Well, and that might be one of the things I play here in a second. But
another thing says they were reportedly forced to blindly land planes, so that makes it sound like they could talk to them but couldn't see them.
Either way, we had a 90-second blackout because of a frayed wire. And now the problems continue. Why? Because at that Newark airport, there was a bunch of employees that said this was so bad, we're taking trauma leave.
Oh, okay.
This 90 seconds was so bad, so stressful, so much, we're taking trauma leave. And now they're understaffed because they had something in writing that said, if a traumatic incident takes place in the workplace, you are able to exercise your right to take a trauma leave to process this very, very intense situation that you went through.
Do you get multiple trauma leaves a year? Or this is their one get out of trauma free card?
I'm not sure. I don't know, but I know that they had the ability to do this. Let me see. Is this story one of them that mentions this? There's a bunch of stories talking about this, but let's see from Good Morning America.
The flight chaos at Newark Airport. Hundreds of flights delayed or canceled after some 20% of its air traffic controllers walked off the job. Matt Rivers is at the airport. Matt, this 20%. Continues to have a major impact. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning, Wood. It's likely going to be another tough day here at Newark Airport, a travel nightmare starting over the weekend, and it's all mainly due to a shortage of air traffic controllers causing major delays and cancellations. Already more than 70 cancellations today, delays starting to grow as well. United Airlines saying it's been forced to indefinitely cancel at least 35 round-trip flights per day. Great. United CEO Scott Kirby saying more than 20% of Newark's air traffic controllers, quote, walked off the job last week, forcing the airline to remove those flights indefinitely. Those air traffic controllers taking medical leave after an equipment outage last week, calling it, quote, a traumatic experience.
All right. So the wire fritzes and their communications goes out for 90 seconds and they go on trauma leave, which then cripples the airport, and they don't have enough air traffic controllers to get the job done right now. That is insane to me for maybe a couple of reasons, but one being that they didn't have enough backup workers to get this job done.
And you don't want to be the one guy who's like, I'll stick it out, and you cause some sort of mass casualty because you didn't control properly.
Well, yeah, of course. They don't want any accidents like that. But who are these people? This is such a weird move. I seriously doubt anybody for 90 seconds having this problem at Newark really is this affected by it. They're taking trauma leave. They're leaving for 45 days.
Damn.
45 days.
I heard you got one of them.
45 days. They only had 90 seconds of stress at their job where things went wrong. And they are.
I imagine it was a ripple effect of some sort.
No, but the outage only lasted. Well, some people say the outage lasted 30 seconds. Some people say there was a larger issue that lasted 90 seconds. But either way, 30 seconds to 90 seconds was the major problem. And then they just had to play catch up the rest of the day. Every other job on planet Earth, when you have a bad day or a stressful day, you buck up. You do the job and you do a little bit of extra.
Or you throw
and you
your
get it done.
laptop.
And then afterwards, you don't go like, I need trauma leave. What is this? Active duty military? Did they get hit with an IED? Trauma leave because work
IDK.
was difficult for one day? That's crazy to me. 45 days off? This is ridiculous.
45 days is insane. They should be able to. I know. I guess this is something that's been promised them, but they should go back and rewrite this. Like, okay, we need to be able to evaluate the trauma and then assign the number of days based on that. Yeah. Juliet on the New York Post, who I guess must be an air traffic controller, is talking like they know something about it.
All right.
Says, Puleeze, Puleeze. We are all trained on how to go ATZ 0, which I guess is just when everything goes.
All right, so we're gonna extrapolate from that when this wire frayed and everything went black, that was ATZ 0.
We are all trained on how to go ATC 0, and it happens more frequently than most people realize when there are fires, storms, tornadoes, earthquakes, or just good old power outages or system failures at air traffic control locations. Yes, we prefer to have it working, but can fly, navigate, and land our planes just fine without them by simply following pre-established procedures working with alternative ATC sectors. Now, that makes sense because, as we had a week or two ago where we knew a guy that was on a plane where the engine caught fire, they had procedures in place.
Brace.
Procedure number 1, don't take off.
Right.
And then blow up the slide and get everybody off of here. There's got to be stuff for the ATC people as well. Working with alternative sectors and just talking to each other in the same way 75,000 other aircraft do every day at non-towered airports. I could understand if they went 0 and it was a LIFR day with high winds and terrible viz. Man, she's using all kinds of lingo. LIFR, low instrument flight rules.
But it makes her sound like she knows what she's talking about there.
On April 28th, it was not a lifer day. It was a CAVU day. So there you go. With very light wind, sounds like they're making up. This is what I got interested in at the end here. Sounds like they're making up their trauma claims to protest the FAA moving most of TRACON out of New Jersey and down to Pennsylvania and using computers to replace people.
They want 45 days off. They do. DW on YouTube. Some of you are dopey on this one. Radio host position doesn't hold the lives of others in its hands. Air traffic controllers do. How many lives could have been lost in those 90 seconds? How many were? Zero.
But DW, the whole point of me reading that last thing was that 90-second outage, there's training to make up for that.
Yeah. Ryan with a fair point on YouTube. I get it for the air traffic control with the Blackhawk crash. They tried and were ignored. They need to leave. If you are involved in a fatal incident and something goes wrong like that, of course I would understand taking a beat, not even 45 days, taking a beat and assessing what happened and sort of processing it and whatnot. But if you had a tough day at work, because that's what this was, a tough day at work because the technology went down for 30 to 90 seconds, and you take 45 days off because you can do that, What you're showing is what can happen when unions get too much of a grip on things. That's one thing that you're showing. The other thing you're showing is how a lot of these employees will just take every advantage that they possibly can, even if it squishes everybody else. So now they take 45 days off, these employees, because of this little blip in their day. And what happens? The flights in and out of Newark are screwed, completely screwed. And maybe you'll say, like, hey, they should hire more people. I don't know. Probably. Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, they should update their equipment. But right now, they are where they are. Are the perks including moving forward 45-day trauma leave? Maybe. Maybe they're stuck with that moving forward. But you got to be real here. Like, there's 0% chance that I buy anybody on this staff that goes, yes, I was so traumatized by the power going out for 30 to 90 seconds at air traffic control that I do indeed need 45 days to process this. 45 days. You know the things I've gone through in my life? I didn't need but a day to process any of them. And I'm not saying you're all going to be like me, but I'm saying 45 days is preposterous, and they're squishing everybody because of it. That's how I take it.
Just bottle it up. Bottle.
I'm not bottling anything up. I let all my stuff out. You shouldn't. You shouldn't do it. But you don't need 45 days off. I can tell you that. You don't need to process your problems.
I get that they want air traffic controllers to have whatever amount of time because there is a lot on the line there. You know, there's the one guy that after his daughter died, he came back to work and let two planes crash into each other. Yeah, because his daughter had just died of a heroin overdose.
Yeah, right.
Big tragedy.
Yeah. What is this, a movie? This is
I would have believed you had I not just rewatched the whole series.
I didn't believe him the whole time because as he was talking, he was glaring at his screen.
I'm not glaring at it. I'm glaring at you.
No, you were looking over at the screen. I saw
right at you.
He's looking at some plot points or something. I knew he was up to something over there. This is just ridiculous. And people are saying snowflakes. I mean, what are they if not snowflakes? If you say you had a bad day at work for 90 minutes and now you go, ooh, I can do this. 90 seconds, not even 90 minutes, 90 seconds. So you exercise your right to take off 45 days and inconvenience everybody else. It's a dick move for the people who have to keep going. What if everybody did it? You just shut down the airport because these employees had
flying blind, baby.
Crazy, man. Crazy. All Day Yucker says, in that 45-day window, can they just hire ATC controllers that only need 30 days off? I don't know what they've gotten themselves into, union-wise or what. I don't know. I don't know if they're locked into these things. So they said, we'll agree that if there's a traumatic situation, employees can take up to 45 days off to process it. But this files under traumatic situation when nobody dies. That's the thing I have a problem with. All right, let us know what you think. Lots of thoughts on that. Get those through right now. Go to thenewsjunkie.com. When we return, we'll check in. There's a trial underway right now for the party teacher who had the house party with 100 teenagers.
King Ima.
I want to see what's going on with that. We want to check in with that. We've got a big lawsuit for the NFL, the Diddy case, a whole lot more. It's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
Traffic slowing down due to an accident heading through the city on I-4 eastbound before State Road 408. Look out for an accident on Orange Blossom Trail northbound at 40th Street. The left lane's blocked there. Emergency crews are clearing up an accident on Colonial Drive eastbound at Newport Avenue. Just travel with caution this afternoon. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Valvoline Instant Oil Change.
Road trip? Let's go. But first, drive into Valvoline Instant Oil Change, where our trained technicians only pour premium Valvoline oil for a quick and easy stay in your car oil change. Go to VIOC.com for money-saving coupons.
Listen up, my business-owning friends. That mortgage guy, Don, is here to help you with your commercial and small business administration loans. If you haven't...
Skull Mike Squad. Let me be real with you. Let me be 100% real. Skull Mike real. Skull Mike realness coming at you. That is some weak ass shit. To be in a situation where things get a little hectic for 90 seconds and take 45 days off, inconveniencing all of your other fellow coworkers,
taking advantage of a situation and pretending as if you're some wounded dove who just can't make it because of all the trauma that you went through. That job is not for you. You should get 45 days and then piss off. They should get a bunch of really strong men and women who are ready for the task of being an air traffic controller and aren't pearl clutching like this in any moment that gets a little more stressful. Pay them more, get the rock solid staff that wants to show up every day and work, and that isn't going to cower when a tiny little hurdle jumps in their way, some obstacle. These are the moments that you're paid for. Not sipping coffee and eating donuts in the tower while everything's working perfectly on a light day. It's when things get a little harder. That is some weak ass shit. To exercise that and do it. Oh, but I have the right. Oh, but it's about... Having a job comes with responsibilities. And if you can't do those responsibilities, get out of here. We need a purge. We need a purge of the soft people from the workforce. Every single soft person that contributes so little to society in these moments, we need to purge you from our workforce, okay? Okay, we need hard people. Yes. There are two types of people in this world. There are hard people and soft people. Soft people melt like ice cream at the smallest of pressure tests and are only useful in certain positions. Those are soft people positions. For the tough jobs, you need tough people. You need hard people who can take a little bit of a problematic situation or a stressful situation or a pressure cooker and get through it. Otherwise, we'd have a bunch of people at 911 taking off every day because it's just too stressful to answer the phone. The job's not for you, pussy. Sorry. Soft shell people? I'm not saying get the rope for the soft people. The soft people are fine. They have their purposes out there. Somewhere in the workforce we can need them. But there's these people who are more like take advantage people than anything else. Like, didn't you read the bylines? It says that if we undergo a stressful situation, 45 days off, people. 45 days off. That's a month and a half. Remember that every day for the next month and a half when you're working and they're not. And think about the 30 to 90 seconds of trouble they went through. That's some soft ass shit. Crystal said, really showing your character, Sean. Yes, Crystal. That's who I am. I am the person that thinks if you have a job, you should do the job. You shouldn't be a complete weak human being about it. And I don't even think they're weak human beings because I don't think they really think they need the trauma days. I think they're taking advantage. And they're screwing over all their fellow coworkers to make them have even more stressful days. Selfish. Buck up. Controllers have been working 60 plus hours a week for years. A few days off is a welcome. A few days off? Buddy, if it was 3 days, I wouldn't be talking about this. If they took the weekend and a Monday, I wouldn't be talking. They took 45 days off. That's a big difference. All right, we're coming back, softies.
It's always mixed to perfection. No mess, no hassle, no measuring. Just premium cocktails in under 30 seconds. So give Mom Bartisian. Give Mom cocktails on demand. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartisian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom.
Injured? Hire America's largest injury firm, Morgan & Morgan, for the people.
Portions of the following program were pre-recorded.
Coming to you live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Injured on the go? Just call Mo. Need help after an accident? Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1, Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, GREEN, GREEN, GREEN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Real Radio 104.1.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Don't freak out. There's not a lot of requirements. We love you even if you don't do it. But if you don't mind, hit the like button over on the stream if you're watching on youtube.com/thenewsjunkie, or just tell somebody. Your word is the most powerful thing in the world for this show. You telling a friend going, hey, check out this show. I think you'll like it. I think you'll dig something going on over here. Here's the News Junkie radio show. Here's the podcast. Here's the live stream. All of it works on a Share the Show Tuesday. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. People emailing in with their near-death experiences. You want to hear some of these? Let's just get two real quick.
Let's go.
Anonymous emails tips at thenewsjunkie.com. So I had a full near-death experience, not just, hold on. I had a full death experience, not just a near-death experience. Wait, hold on. What does that mean, Anonymous?
Is this a ghost?
Reaching out to us.
That's how anonymous you are. You're a ghost. I had a full death experience, not just a near-death experience, back over 25 years ago. I used to do a lot of bad things, and I overdosed on crystal meth and MDMA and cocaine. My heart stopped.
There's a name for that, isn't there?
For the better part of 5 to 10 minutes. I don't know the exact amount of time. And all I could say is the only thing that changed about me is it solidified my personal religious beliefs, and it was because I didn't quit doing drugs for about 2 years after that. And that was it, because I didn't quit drugs for about 2 years after that, they said. Thank you, Anonymous. Not great at writing, but great at telling a story.
It's hard when you don't have fingers.
So they died for 25 years for a while.
Ghost hands.
All right. Thank you, Anonymous. Appreciate the story. Here's another one. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com. Nelson emails and says, I almost went through a bridge barricade on a bridge over the Ohio River, a really high bridge that funnels multiple lanes of traffic into Louisville. I was feet from it when a big sand truck in front of me pulled over into the right-hand lane. Luckily, there was a tiny opening for me to move over. It was the scariest thing that comes to mind, would have been certain death. And guess what? I didn't change anything, they're saying. So they're saying the story about people who have near-death experiences and changing their lives afterwards, not caring about work so much, caring more about, like, life experiences and those sorts of things. That is not impacting these folks. But maybe you, I want to hear your near-death experience, and did it change your life? Was that news story right? Let us know. Tips at thenewsjunkie.com, or send an email to, send a dispatch rather to thenewsjunkie.com. Lots of people trying to rebrand the show. Many of them are not good. I don't know if I'm going to do this one. This is a video. I'm not playing this, sir.
Oh, okay.
Send a video dispatch. Don't just email me a random video. I don't know what that is. This is
What's the difference?
Because I can see like a title, I could see information, I can see what's going on. I don't know what that is. I don't know if it's a porn. I have no idea what that is coming through my email. You never know what's going to happen over here. Christian says, hey guys, I was listening to the story about the Newark airport, and I have to tell you, that job is considered the most stressful job in the country, if not the world. Talking about air traffic control. And as soon as he was inaugurated, Trump fired the head of the FAA. Then Musk fired a bunch of FAA employees. You're blaming it on everybody else. Plus, they were already understaffed. Think back to Reagan when they were complaining about the conditions and went on strike for better conditions and wages, and Reagan fired them all. So the idea that this is a tough job to work at the airport, work for the FAA, or work for air traffic control, I would agree with. That's probably stressful, a lot of pressure on you. And to a certain extent, the planes fly themselves, but you got to be careful and manage the dance of the planes going in. I get it.
Yeah, but the planes flying themselves and You're the one telling them what to do.
Yes, fine. So there's stress to the job. So you should not take that job if you can't handle the stress. Just like a police officer or anybody else in a high-pressure job. Don't take that job if you can't deal with the stresses of it. That's the whole point. Pay the people well, get the best staffers you can, pick the people who are the absolute best for the job, the best men and women to work at these kind of jobs to keep everybody as safe as you can. But when you hire a bunch of people and they have a little bit of a problem for 30 to 90 seconds and they want 45 days off, that's not very doable in the long term, especially when this didn't seem to be like anything worth a 45-day break. Maybe that's just me. Another near-death experience coming in. Anonymous emails to tips@thenewsjunkie.com. This last email for now, and then we'll get into another story.
Ghost again.
You asked about near-death experience, and I thought I might chime in with what happened to me a couple years ago. Without getting into too much detail, I was shocked by a live high-voltage power cable.
Whoa.
What?
Damn.
That's crazy. I lost a leg below the knee and spent nearly 2 months in the hospital. There's some trauma for you.
Okay.
I had a fairly laborious job before the jolt, but now I'm pursuing a career in programming and coding. And to be honest, that has been the biggest change for me since the accident, besides the minus a leg thing. I didn't experience the quintessential near-death experience like you hear stories about. There was no flash of light, no life passing before my eyes, no epiphany. But the following months were very emotional, coming to terms with my condition and trying to figure out what life was going to be like in the future. And that time I have grown closer with my family and my support team, and that is the blessing in disguise.
Oh.
Very interesting. Keep up the good work, and thanks for always making me laugh, says Anonymous. Damn. Glad to hear you pulling through. That's interesting. And that, my friend, is these near-death experiences are actual tough things. Traumatic incidents. Things that you might take some time off, even 45 days off for. Not your display powering off for 30 seconds. Oh, no. That's totally different. It's totally different. We have people who are soft and people who are hard. It's the entire collection of workers out there. The workforce is full of people who are hard, who can get out there and work all day and overcome adversity and problems and do the things that other people aren't tough enough to do. And then we have the soft workers, the soft shells out there. And that's fine.
The Sean.
That's what you
are.
are.
They call them. They
don't call them Sean. I'm a hard over here. I'm the toughest. I'll take all the adversity, take all of the criticism, all of this nonsense. And I think most people can, but there's people who are more sensitive, softer, and a little different. And that's okay. I don't hate you. I'm not coming down on you. I'm just saying that these particular jobs are not for you. Find the job that's a little bit easier on you, that causes you less stress, that makes it so when you have a problem that doesn't even last 2 minutes, 30 seconds to 90 seconds long, you don't take 45 days off. Tell me what you think. Send a dispatch over at thenewsjunkie.com. We got this trial underway today for this Florida teacher that was accused of being drunk at the house party with like 100 teens. I don't know if there's anything exciting going on, but maybe we could peek in. Let's see if they have it going on now, because I know they've been streaming this. And this is the teacher who was involved in all this partying. I think she wanted them to drop the charges. They might be on a break in court right now. It's been going on since the morning started. And we'll keep an eye on this Carly Anderson case, because it kind of plays into, you guys know, we've been talking about how common it is for adults to facilitate parties for teenagers these days. We've had people email who've said, yeah, I've done that. We do that. And we've hung out with those people. And we've had story after story after story where somebody said, well, I want to keep the kids safe. I want them drinking under my supervision. If this woman gets in trouble for this, we might see a bit of a change on that front. She's facing charges of disorderly intoxication and resisting an officer.
I don't know that we're going to see a change because one person gets in trouble. She had 100 kids at this party.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What about the other person she was with?
The other person's in trouble too, I believe. I think there was 2 adults that were in trouble as a result.
One was teacher, right?
Yeah, and the teacher was reassigned, I think, for a short time to another school, and then they said
people did not like that.
Yeah,
they were not fans.
Parents were upset about that. They said, we don't want this lady throwing a party with our kids too, and that became a problem.
But she's a cool mom.
I I say, in terms of teachers or working at the school, there needs to just be a incredibly strong line in the sand that separates you from students. Like, I think it almost should be like your therapist. I don't know if you guys have ever encountered this or if this is an experience you know about.
Therapy or just a weird therapist?
No. Like, if you have a therapist and you go to them and you tell them about all your problems and stuff, I believe the unspoken rule, could be wrong about this. I have gone to family therapy quite a bit when I was younger and my family was having some troubles. And as I recall, if you meet the therapist or if you encounter the therapist out in public, you're supposed to kind of ignore each other. So you just kind of like, you're over there, okay, you might like glance or something, but you don't like fraternize outside of the stuff that happens in the office. And I feel like teachers and principals should be on that same track. Like, you don't need to be schmoozing and hanging out. Oh, we just want to show the kids that I'm cool. Frank the Tank. That seems bad.
Teachers and principals?
Teachers and principals fraternizing with the students outside of school.
Oh, I thought you meant like teachers hanging out with principals.
No, staff can hang out with each other. Nobody cares about that. But if they start to make it a point that they're like, this woman was at this party with 100 of these kids from school.
Look, the party with 100 kids, bad look. It's not good. It's a little bit more than I know my kids are going to drink, so I want to be able to supervise this to make sure it's safe. Two adults, two teachers are not going to keep 100 kids at a party safe. How are they getting home? You know? But I think that's completely different than saying, all right, if you and two of your friends, want to drink here under our supervision and you're going to spend the night and nobody's driving, that is the same amount illegal, but I still think that one is not going to stop the other.
So would you be okay with the second one?
Yes.
The idea, so you're okay with that more so. So you're okay with an idea of a parent going, my kid and just a few of their friends are going to be hanging out. I'd rather them drink under my supervision because I know they're going to do it anyways. You're okay with that?
Yeah.
There must be a cutoff, though. You must be talking about, like, your kids 20, 19. You're not going to let Jackson do that at 12 years old or something.
12.
Obviously,
Not
it's ridiculous.
12.
Where would you?
17?
Is that where you would draw the line? 17?
I don't know.
I think at that point, you play by ear, and most importantly, you're not inviting 100 kids.
I would only ever do that, and maybe you and I are just different on this, C-Lane. That's totally possible and fine. I would only ever do that with my own kid.
Right.
I would only ever say, like, my own child.
Okay, you wouldn't let, you wouldn't have let Dylan, like, invite his friends over.
No, if his friends were here and they're both underage, and where I might give Dylan at 19 or 20, and I did a White Claw and go, here you go, bud, enjoy, like, one White Claw, have fun hanging out with us here. I wouldn't do that.
I certainly never saw that happen.
With a single other person's kid, because then I don't know what that parent's like. I don't know if that parent's going to come over. Unless you had their permission or something, So that's why this story about the teacher partying is going to be an interesting one to watch. Real quick, let's work in one dispatch. Here's a video dispatch from Waterboys. Let's see what they say. Hang tight. You can send yours over on thenewsjunkie.com.
The year was, I don't remember because I was 18. I had really bad ingrown toenails, so going to get a procedure done.
Yeah.
To basically remove the entire nail.
Ooh.
And when they do that, they shoot Novocaine like from the top of your toe all the way down towards the bottom in a few different places, and yeah, it hurts. But anyway, apparently, if the doctor misses the right spot and actually shoots Novocaine into your blood vessels, that's a bad thing.
Oh, no.
I don't know. Nurses, doctors, they can, chime in on this, but apparently that stopped my heart. And
I didn't stop. You just couldn't feel it.
I was dead for like a minute until they revived me. And, when I woke up, imagine if you take your eyeballs and look straight up and then straight down and then bounce your eyes like that, like you can't stop it for about a minute or two. That's what happened to me.
Whoa, like rebooting.
I was told that's normal for somebody that got their heart restarted.
All right, but that is a traumatic experience.
Yeah.
Your heart stopped. There was things going wrong. You could have died. Your eyeballs are resetting in your head. You're freaking out. 45 days off. Go for it. Fine. That makes sense. That's more dramatic to me than certainly what we've seen in some of these other stories. But thank you for your story. We hope to hear yours as well. Send it in. Go over to thenewsjunkie.com. Big Doug Millionaire says, Waterboy stops my heart. Oh, they're getting cute back and forth. All the different people in the community.
Kiss.
We love
Do a
you.
little kiss.
We appreciate you. JCC is wanting to take some shots at me. All right, go ahead.
Sean, the fact that you're calling anybody soft is a joke. It's like Trump calling somebody fat.
Yeah?
You work 4 hours a day in a comfy, cozy office, and you take at least 45 days off a year. You guys are always off. I'm always listening to best ofs or reruns. So
Right. Is that on the weekend by
you're
any chance?
soft as a marshmallow.
JCC, first of all, kiss my ass. Second of all, I think I might have taken 4 days off last year. I think I might have taken 4 days off or 5 days off last year. Third of all, come try it. Sit behind this microphone for 4 hours.
I love that they think we crack the mic and that's when we start everything.
Well, yeah,
As if
obviously.
there's no prep involved or anything that happens before and after the show.
Obviously, I have to endlessly prep for this show while the show's going on, unless there's like a big break or something and I can actually get away from it. I'm not also saying that this job is as stressful as air traffic control, because it's not. It's clearly not. It's like these dumb streamers who are like, this is the most stressful job in the world. There are stressful parts of it and stuff, but I know that's different. But this is like that cop that went to the school down south, Stoneman Douglas. And the cop showed up, and the cop was too much of a coward in the moment to go save the kids when they were getting shot up at the school. And the cop's like, you wouldn't have done it. This is a scary job. This was a scary moment. You wouldn't have done it. Well, you're supposed to be willing to do that if you take that position. Understand the trappings of the position that you're taking. And if you're too soft for it, don't take it, because you'll really screw up things for everybody else. What are you laughing about, Sue? What's happening over there?
I just, considering the discussion we just had, I just looked over at my phone, which had like a screensaver on with pictures, and that picture just came up.
Was it? Is that Dylan? Wait, what's he drinking in this? This is 2017. I'm doing the math. Is that like a Mike's Hard Lemonade or something?
I think it's
He's got iced.
I think he got iced.
Son of a bitch. I knew he was up to it. It's fine. Like, this happens. We all do this.
Also,
I did
who's
this.
the person next to him that doesn't know how to hold a beer bottle?
Yeah, who holds a beer bottle by the neck like that?
I don't know.
This is the amateur hour. Both these kids. It looks like he's eating a double down, too. I don't know what's going on in these kids' life. Something went wrong here. He's good now, though. This was a while ago. All right, quick break.
Also, he posted that on social media. That I should probably preface this. The whole reason that I have a picture of this is because I screenshotted it and was like...
You remember when he posted the bag of weed on social media? And
That was a fat stack.
I talked to him and I go, what are you doing? I said, I don't care what's going on. I trust that you'll be safe and make good decisions in your life, but don't post stuff on social media. You're trying to get a job somewhere and somebody's like, well, here you go. What's this right here you got? That could be a problem. Let us know what you think. We got a lot going on today on a Share the Show Tuesday. Back with more in a second. We got to get into this big NFL lawsuit. We got more on the Diddy situation. We got the next episode. It's all coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on the Big Show, a simple test that can tell you if you'll make it to 100 years old, plus the best and worst states to be a cop. We'll do What'd You Do That's New. For trivia, it's tickets to Sold Out John Mulaney and AC/DC. And we'll end it up with It's Only Money. Plus 4 opportunities to win $1,000 and your calls, text, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
There's a couple accidents to keep an eye out for on the roadways. On State Road 46 westbound near International Parkway, the right lane's blocked there. The left lane's blocked on Colonial Drive westbound near Goldenrod Road there. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 through that Lake Buena Vista area. And keep an eye out for a crash on Orange Blossom Trail northbound before 40th Street. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Taking a Walk podcast.
I'm Buzz Knight, host of the Taking a Walk podcast. Step with us into the world of music. I bring you up-close conversations with new and legendary musicians.
Go, Mike Squad. How are you, my beauties? Have you all toughened up? How are we? How are we faring so far during the show? We're currently 51% through the day. So I hope that makes you feel good about things, right? You know, we're on the other side. Are you mad at me? Are you happy with me? How are you feeling today? Let that be known. That's what chat is for. Hey, middle escape? What is that? Did I get it? Obi-Wan Kenobi says, I feel a little constipated. You want me to squish you? I will provide that service. We're that close if you want to. You lay down, and then I'll roll you like an actual cannoli. We'll just get the bad stuff right out of you. Okay? Decon says you have been 100% spot on today. Thank you, Decon. Restream, just retweet that out in chat or repost that in chat every 30 seconds or so to keep me going. To fend off the other folks who are the detractors. I love the detractors too, though, just for the record. I love you all. Biha, I saw that you said this radio show is verbally abusing you. Biha, I have not verbally abused you. I will go on the record saying I have not verbally abused you in at least a week. I have not said anything at all verbally abusive towards you directly in at least a week. I have a thing outside of the studio, and it says days since Sean has verbally abused Biha. There's one for each one of you. And I put it back to, I think it's at 14. So it's going well. 2 minutes. Kevin says iHeartMedia is up and running. That was a easy buy at $1 flat, at $1 flat. iHeart stock was an easy buy at that. Because I'm pretty sure it would go back up to $2 for at least a little while. I don't know how long term it will do. Folks, does Nightbot seemed a little more tuned in? I know I saw that it did the 1,000 message thing and it like bombarded you. I want Nightbot to be just perfectly tuned in. In case you missed it yesterday, the exclusive stickers, Skull Mike Squad stickers, will be coming in this week. I'll show them to you on the stream. And then anybody who gifts a sub, not only will you get a magnet and more exclusive stuff to come, but for now a magnet, but you'll get one of those stickers. Love the community you guys have built around this show. And that's all on you. You guys are great. You're beautiful. And you share the show all the time. Thanks to each and every one of you. Thanks to the folks who even are listening or watching back on the YouTube VOD, video on demand. You can always find those on the website. We're coming back.
Of the How to Money podcast. Let's say you do live in a state that gives you a tax break on $529. That's great, but don't invest those dollars once you put them in. We're all about investing in a 529 plan. Typically, right? You want that tax advantage money to grow. But as you get close to needing to spend the money, de-risking is crucial. In uncertain financial times, How to Money is here to help. Open your free iHeartRadio app, search How to Money, and start listening today.
Trajan Wealth, your trusted local fiduciary advisor. Visit TrajanWealth.com.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, green. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the...
Going through the most viral stories of the day. You can always watch the show if you want to tune in on YouTube and twitch.tv/The News Junkie. We stream the show live every day, a multi-camera HD production. It's beautiful. There's lots of bells and whistles, and we're glad to have you on board, so hit like if you like what's going on. We'll get to your dispatches, more emails coming in, more near-death experience talk, all of that good stuff. But one of the things that we've been tracking was with this crackdown on people who are in this country illegally, they keep going further and further to try to convince folks to get out of here, get on out. And now the story has been that the Trump administration is offering to pay $1,000 to illegal immigrants who self-deport through their app, the CBP Home app. If you do it, they'll give you $1,000 stipend and travel assistance.
So it's $1,000 in addition to helping them, like buying the plane ticket?
I guess so. Yeah. I don't know if it's $1,000 altogether, C-Lane, or if it's like $1,000 cash to give you to go back and then the airline ticket, et cetera, from there. Actually, let's hear. Here's Trump talking about this, and we'll talk about if you think people are actually going to take them up on this offer, and then who I'd like to take this offer.
What we thought we'd do is a self-deport, where we're going to pay each one a certain amount of money, and we're going to get them a beautiful flight back to where they came from.
Beautiful
They have a period of time.
Beautiful.
That's right, first class.
And if they make it, we're going to work with them so that maybe someday, with a little work, they can come back in if they're good people, if they're the kind of people that we want in our company, industrious people that could love our country.
Company of the United States of America.
And if they're not, they won't. But
LLC.
It will give them a path to becoming, to coming back into the country. If they miss that limit, they're going to be taken out of our country. And they will never get a path to come back in. And it'll be a much tougher process.
All right.
And it's called self-deportation. And by doing that, you're talking about so many millions of people.
I don't know. I wonder how many people are going to do this. $1,000. It's almost like, here's the vibes I'm getting right now, folks. I'm getting the vibes like the plane's about to take off, and they go, we need 2 people to give up their seats. We've made a mistake. We need 2 people to give up their seats.
You get a voucher.
And they'll start with that, Sabrina. They'll go, we were going to do a voucher for $500. And if you get off right now and allow us to go on with the flight, we'll give you $500 and free Wi-Fi for a year from our airline. And then nobody moves. Nobody steps up. And they go, all right, we're going to do a $1,000 travel voucher. And people start getting a little bit more interested. And then $2,000.
But there's one person in the crowd that's like, you sit down until they offer cash.
He's got both his hands out. He's like, hold, the $3,000 voucher, $1,000 cash. And the tide starts to turn because people could be bought out eventually. But $1,000 to deport yourself. I would be a little bit hesitant to think that there were going to be a lot of people who would take this offer. I just don't know that would be the case. It'll be interesting to see if folks do. Maybe there's some people who go, I was going to leave anyways. And so this is perfect for me. I get a free flight. Imagine if you're an illegal immigrant in this country and you want to go back to your home country and you never want to come back again. This is the greatest thing in the world. It's a free flight.
It would be even more hilarious if you were like, yeah, if Donald Trump gets elected, I'm out of here. And then Donald Trump gets elected and you're like, all right, now I guess I gotta get out of here. And Donald Trump's like, I'll pay you to get out of here. It's like, all right.
Don't mind if I do. All right, I'll go for that right now. I think that could be a couple of lucky people like that. I would like to put this offer out there for people who are actually Americans that I just would like to heave-ho out of here. There's people that I would be like, can we start for all the people that just hate America and America bad, America bad, America bad, America bad, America bad. All these other countries are so much better. These commie kids and stuff. Can we eject them for $1,000? Can we eject all the commie kids in the United States of America and take in Mexicans that want to be Americans?
Sounds
that
like a
want to
weird
be
PBS show.
patriotic as hell, that really want to live in this country and believe in the American ideal and existence, want to learn English and assimilate to the culture and do all this. I'd rather have those folks. I'd rather buy out some of the people who hate this country and give them $1,000 to piss off somewhere else. But I don't think we could do that yet. I don't know if the appetite is there.
Also, White Claws are so expensive these days.
White Claws are expensive.
$1,000 will go so quickly.
White Claws have reached $30 per 12-pack now in some of the places.
Excuse me?
$30.
That's insane.
I don't want to back in my day, You guys may connect on this,
You
actually.
didn't have seltzers back then, did you?
No, but we used to get Natty Ice for a 12-pack for, I think, $5.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Busch Light.
That ain't happening no more. Like a cheap 12-pack is way more expensive than that now. Unless you get the thing. What was that generic ass thing you got?
Dude, I didn't buy it. I saw it
What happened?
in the beer aisle yesterday because I was getting some Coronas for my very low-key Cinco de Mayo.
Gracias.
And they had this thing called
Here it is.
Alcolo. First of all, it's giving me Marlboro vibes.
Also, no carbonation.
It's not carbonated, and it doesn't say beer anywhere on it. It says premium alcohol. It's an 8-pack of alcohols.
This is like a box that just says, would you like to purchase a bunch of alcohols?
It says it's a premium alcoholic beverage with natural flavors.
This is what Lifetime movie used for product placement.
It's naturally sweetened and naturally flavored. I don't know what flavor, but it's
natural.
It's alcohol flavored. There's added electrolytes, so you got that. And it's 8%, but it's not carbonated. So it sounds gross. And that 8-pack is $23.
This is the most generic product I've ever seen in my life. It says elevate the experience, Alcolo, premium alcohol, and there is literally no other information about what's in these cans. Zero.
Let's drink it.
I think I tried to look it up on YouTube for a little bit before I got annoyed by the person who was talking about it. Mm-hmm. And there's
Sorry about that.
There's some no, not you.
Mm-hmm.
There was some influencer behind it. And he was trying to tell this story. He goes, and we're crafting this. We're trying to come up with a great name. And one of my business partners, he walked up to the whiteboard and he wrote down the word alcohol and he spelled it wrong. But it just kind of.
That's who you're paying.
It kind of rang. We like the way it rang, Alcolo.
Well, those people need 45 days off too, I think. Zach on YouTube says, it's good because it says premium on the box.
Yeah.
And they spelled that
generic. Right. Like, it would be the equivalent of just saying beer. Like beer.
It's even more generic than that because it just says it's an 8-pack of alcohols.
You have no idea what
I wish you would have bought it. I'm curious what it tastes like.
Then is that the overall marketing plan? Like, just get people curious?
That's a weird marketing plan.
And then you change the name and it says Thunderbolt, the new adventure.
If you want people to buy it because they're curious, it needs to be a little bit cheaper than $23 for an 8-pack.
Yeah, that's an expensive experiment, either way. But some people are going to try it.
MFQ says, is that like Ricola? Like, Alcolo!
I'd watch that. All right, when we come back the next episode with Sabrina, what's coming up on the next episode?
What's coming up on the next episode? A celebrity's under fire for attending the Met Gala. Hold on, let me rephrase. Celebrity attends Met Gala with Rosa Parks on her butt and is now under fire. Ultra-violent, toxic content, mutant nudity, and pee-pee play. This film has it all, and I'm not even talking about the Luigi Mangione musical. All that, plus more, coming up on the next episode.
And that is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Coming up tonight on Real Radio at 7, it's a corporate time with Tom and Dan. Brought to you by MyEternalVitality.com and Modern Plumbing Industries. At 9 p.m., it's Real Laughs with comedians James Miguel and Ken. And Real Music starts tonight at 10 on Real Radio 104.1.
This weather report is brought to you by Mills Air.
Hey,
Central Florida, and happy Tuesday. I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your forecast. And for today, we'll see the return of some afternoon showers and storms. Most of these will be staying to the south and east of Orlando. With that being said, about a 40% chance can be expected with heavy rain, some frequent lightning, and also some pockets of hail that will be possible. The rest of the work week features hot temperatures, highs in the upper 80s and low 90s with daily rounds of showers and storms before better chances of rain arrive for Mother's Day weekend. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Sunnyside Air Conditioning.
Hi, my air conditioner isn't working.
We're hosting a pet rock adoption telethon.
Pet rocks?
The internet says they're endangered.
Rocks are everywhere.
You know what's everywhere?
Frank Gay is everywhere. I'm calling Frank Gay.
When you have AC problems, you need help now. One of our licensed and certified technicians can have your AC blowing cold air in no time. That's the Frank Gay way. FrankGayServices.com.
Hey Orlando, Joe Rossi here from Greenway Kia. By now you've heard about the auto tariffs, but at Greenway Kia we planned ahead. We've been stocking up on new Kias at all 3 locations. Drive home the new Kia you want tariff-free. Like new 2025 Kia Sorento SUVs for only $179 per month for 24 months with 0 security deposit. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Qualified applicants through KFA include $650 acquisition fee, 10,000 miles per year, $49.95 at inception, plus tax title license, $899 dealer, and $249.50 doc fee.
Skull Mike Squad. Is today going to be the greatest day in the history of the world, Mr. Predicto?
That is a likely outcome.
Yes! Big news from Mr. Predicto. Love it. Thank you, buddy. Thank you for hanging out with us today. Bucky, JD, The Art of Distro, Michael, Snoop, all you folks, thanks for being with us today. We appreciate you. Greatest community ever. Thank God for Skull Mike. Praise the Lord to the Skull Mike Squad. This is where I can be real. This is where I can put my truth out there to speak in emotional terms. This is where I can tell you the real deal. We're coming back. Trying to cut off my Skull Mike. Unbelievable. I won't be silenced.
17th and 18th, it's Gatorpalooza. They're going to feature music, DJs, food, vendors, artisans. They're going to have games, giveaways, and it's the 5th annual Gatorland Florida Man Challenge on Saturday. Best of all, this extra fun is included in your regular admission, and Florida residents save half off. It's Gatorland's way to give back to the community.
All about the presets.
That is the best new feature. It's like a car radio right on the app. There's a list of what's trending. There's all the podcasts. I love it.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
iHeartRadio. Real Radio is on X at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
Where common sense meets complete nonsense. This is the news.
Just a moment. All things happening in the world of entertainment and beyond. And we are ready to hear from you. We got tons of feedback coming up, emails, dispatches, all that good stuff. the next episode in just moments here, but you still got time to join us at any point during the show. With an email, if you want to be anonymous, put that on top, tips@thenewsjunkie.com, or you can record an audio or video dispatch anytime. It could be after the show. We don't have to be live. We see them afterwards sometimes, and if they're good, we'll work them in. So there you go. Right now, let's get into it. Let's do the next episode.
Because there's a lot on TV, and you can't possibly keep up with all of it, even though you should, because what else are you going to talk about?
Never mind.
The news hounds are on.
Nothing. Weather's nice. It's time for the next episode with Sabrina. Hey, smoke weed every day.
Hold up. The next episode brought to you by That Mortgage Guy Don. ThatMortgageGuyDon.com. That's his website, and he made it so easy for you. It is chock full of information. Very, very simple to navigate through. Very easy to compare your quote. Make sure that you're getting the best deal possible. When it comes to big life decisions, you got to work with someone who's looking out for you, and that's That Mortgage Guy Don. Start the process today by going to ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
Don't miss the boat. Compare your quote with ThatMortgageGuyDon.com.
A mere 31 years ago, 1994. This guy right here, listen carefully, it's going to be quick.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
That is correct, Sean, with 1 point on the board.
Yes.
And it was on this day in 1994 that he set his chair on fire on The Tonight Show.
Nice.
Funny guy. He was charged with a crime for it, though. He pled no contest to recklessly causing a fire and had to pay a whopping $3,888 in fines and damages. And I imagine he wasn't asked back to The Tonight Show.
Probably not.
Speaking of fire, we got a new movie coming up, and it's part of a very old franchise. I say old with quotes, but it's been around for a while. Final Destination.
Oh, that's right.
Making those?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And this one's called Final Destination Bloodlines.
Yeah. I think it's going to do okay. I think people are a tiny bit excited about this.
And also be very excited that we now have a new world record.
All right.
That has been set by a stunt woman out of retirement who set a new world record for the, quote, oldest person ever on fire on camera.
Okay.
At 71 years old, Yvette Ferguson has now beat the odds.
Did they say who she took the record from?
No, they did not. No, they did not.
Very awkward. You were playing the thing.
Elderly stunt woman. Elderly stunt woman. She plays Mrs. Fuller, who is, spoiler alert, burned to death. Her most recent work, the 71-year-old, includes Midnight Mass and Child's Play remake.
Man.
No word on whose record she beat, but we can give it a googs later.
Did you guys see that the guy who was filming a music video but didn't have budget to do like CG, and he actually lit his pants on fire?
Okay, how'd that work?
I don't believe him.
Watch. I'll explain it for everybody.
I think he's
Just real quick.
lying.
2 seconds here, right? So here he is. He's walking. He's on fire as he's doing the music video. He's on fire rapping and doing his video.
I mean, the smoke kind of looks.
Look, he looks like it's not bothering him.
There's
Trust
no
me.
way.
And then he throws off his pants as fast. He didn't have the budget for it. I would never do that, man. Never.
Budget for what? There's also like, I imagine a fluid you could put on there.
Yeah,
a little bit more fire retardant.
This guy's not professional. He's doing this on his own.
So why not light yourself on fire?
What an idiot.
And now I'll get the paycheck for it. Speaking of fire, someone is under fire, and that's Met Gala for you, baby.
Mm-hmm.
Blackpink's Lisa. Lisa from Blackpink. Which one's Blackpink? Is that the K-pop
Blackpink
group?
is, I think they're K-pop. I'll check while you do that.
She's a Thai rapper and singer, it says.
Close up.
South Korean girl group. Yeah, so K-pop.
And she decided, of all the things to wear at the Met Gala, expose her panties. And on the back of the panties Rosa Parks mug. I guess it is worth noting that I believe the theme last night was tailored blackness or something. I'm not saying the exact thing. And a lot of very beautiful outfits and extravagant. I don't know if the look they were looking for is Rosa Parks' face on your butt and a piece of underwear.
That's
kind of hard. Yeah, you have to really be looking at the underwear to make out what's going on. So it's
But
like
it was
this
exposed.
Yeah, I guess so. You can't really tell what's going on here, but yeah, it looks like Rosa Parks' face is on.
It wasn't the whole time. It was just maximum exposure that she busted out the panties as well.
I guess so.
So
I wouldn't look at that and
there you
immediately
have
know
it.
it's supposed to be Rosa Parks. Like you
Me
would have
either.
to tell me that's definitely
now
what that's
pull
supposed to be.
a picture of Rihanna from the Met Gala and tell me if you can immediately tell that she's pregnant.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can see some.
Oh, he already did. And they're expecting baby number 3. She debuted
Damn.
the baby bump. Arriving at the Met Gala yesterday, a photographer posted a photo of her earlier in the day with her bump exposed in the rain. And then later the Met Gala exposure as well. So many baby bumps. No word if they're having a boy or a girl, but congratulations. They have 2 sons, Rizza and Riot Rose. Rizza born May of 2022. Riot Rose born August of 2023.
Riot's a cool name.
Riot Rose
Riot
is a
Rose.
badass name.
Rai. Riri.
Would suck if you were a nerd and you had that name, because people are expecting a lot out of Riot Rose when you walk into a room.
Yeah. Well, then again, they probably
Riot
expect
Rose
a
like
lot.
everybody calm down. Let's just all be peaceful.
If your parents are Rihanna and A$AP Rocky, I feel like there's a lot of expectation already.
True, yeah.
But we'll see. Speaking of mothers, we got Mother's Day coming up, and Gwyneth Paltrow hold Ghosts beer because they have also come out with their own raunchy Mother's Day merch item.
I'm listening.
That's sold out. Dubbed by the website the mother of all ghost merch. And they invited fans to, and I'm going to be very careful with this, rock out with your gawks out for Ghost. Ghost. They dropped a Mother's Day package featuring ghost-styled dildos as they promoted it, and they are completely sold out already. But they said they want them to give it to your mom. Included or a pink-hued T-shirt featuring what appeared to be a mama ghost and her baby ghost, along with a card that read, "She is the light, the warmth, the power. Without her, I am lost. Hail, Mom. Here's the vibrator. Happy Mother's Day, everybody."
Damn. I feel like Father's Day presents are way different than Mother's Day presents.
Is it just a fleshlight or something?
No, it's a tie.
It's a shirt or a tie, pair of socks. It's
or
just like
maybe we're changing it up in 2025. And you just,
firm handshake, you know.
just, why give a handshake when you can have them shake something else on
the real
Father's
basic
Day?
things.
And finally, I'll give you this, and I'm surprised you guys haven't heard, but I think it's going to be all the talk of the town as far as the street that is Broadway. I present to you the Luigi Mangione musical.
Yeah.
Appears next month in San Francisco. Luigi the musical already sold out.
See, at first when I heard this, I thought, God, this is more glorification of the murderer guy. And
the music's good.
Upon second thought, I did consider there are a lot of other plays that have murderers in them.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Sweeney Todd is a murderer, right? Like there's other plays that focus
scissors.
on a murder, as long as they're not presenting, and I bet they are because they're stage
Are the other
kids.
musicals after real murderers? Like was Sweeney Todd a real person?
I don't know, but I know that there are like stage shows that feature murderers and bad people. Certainly, that's a thing. It's just about how are they displaying this person.
Oh, I'll tell you,
for the world.
Because not only is Luigi Mangione the center of this musical, also a comedy, but he is sharing a prison with Sam Bankman-Fried and Sean Diddy Combs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The setup is absurd, but it is rooted in the strange truth that the 3 men were indeed incarcerated in the same facility at one point. So, we do not know yet if they're going to be characters in the musical, but let us know, those in San Francisco, on the Bip Tip. We have the next 3 episodes of Andor on Disney Plus, stand-up special David Spade, Dandelion on Amazon. You guessed it. Series premiere of Parent Wars on A&E. Yes. You can catch Nick Offerman on Kimmel. Follow your dreams. Send me on Instagram at Sabrina Ambra. And most importantly, say it with me, America.
Smoke weed every day.
Thank you, Sabrina. Apparently, it's getting weird in the White House.
Okay.
It's getting weird in the White House. I've got some audio for you next of some stuff that just went down. Very, very awkward, a little uncomfortable, and we'll listen to it together and see what happened. We got to talk more about these attempts to raise money for very bad people, because more of these are popping up for sure, and a whole lot more on the way on the show. I know, Sabrina, you've got an event, I think, coming up. Is that tonight or when?
Yes, it absolutely is tonight, and it's the 13th annual Center Orlando's Celebrity, and I'm using that in quotes, bartending experience over at Savoy. Those of you in Orlando, if you'd like to join, I'll be on the patio from 7 to 8, and it is being called the Battle of the Media Stars, and I have to win.
Who are you battling?
I am battling Nancy Alvarez, Rick Todd, and my arch nemesis / I love you so much, Chad Pitt from our sister station Magic.
Oh.
So between 7 and 8, if I get the most cash tips, all this going, of course, to a great cause, the Center Orlando, then I win, and I get to wear that sash. Also, if you cannot make it and you're from out of town, I just put on my Instagram at Sabrina Amber on the stories. There's a QR code that you could tip virtually, and you can find out more information about this wonderful place that is the Center Orlando. And feel free to message me if you want to know more. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.
Just for the record, people asking about other murderer plays, Jeffrey Dahmer Live is a thing. It's apparently something. An hour and 25 minutes.
I imagine Fringe Festival is going to have a couple murder plays as well.
Yeah, there's got to be stuff like that.
I love a good murder play.
OG on YouTube says, you guys going down fast. What's going on? Almost like you intentionally trying to make Jack come down on you. What's up, man? Can you, OG, can you take that and turn it into English? Can you turn that into something that makes sense to a normal human being?
Or a song, if that's easier for you.
Spit it back out. If that's easier to talk to you in that way, or like if you need ChatGPT to be an intermediary.
That'd be helpful.
Between your potato brain and the internet, then maybe that will help. Maybe something will assist you here. Godspeed, sir. I don't know what you're talking about.
What are you talking about?
Quick break. When we come back, we got a lot on deck. Some lawsuits that we need to go over, bad fundraisers, and a whole bunch more. Coming up next on the News Junkie.
This week on the Jim Colbert Show, we got prizes, tickets to AC/DC and John Mulaney, plus $1,000 each hour.
Skull Mike Squad. What's this dipshit talking about? Are you trying to troll? Did you not communicate properly that you were having a good time? I don't know what's going on with that. The brain power seems limited. If I'm real with you, the chat room has got the ability to pop up a couple of those every once in a while. I want to give everybody else permission. A new rule. Brand new rule. You have full permission. If somebody steps into chat and says something dumb and tries to troll the show, please, by all means, not if this is just a little criticism or something, but if somebody's just trying to troll, please bully the shit out of whoever did it. Just bully them. Bully. Immediately gang up on them. Like the Jets and the Sharks, if there was only one Jet and 9,000 Sharks. Just eat them alive. Cook them, please. Booty Sweat says, I think the Skull mic is a way to not have to mute audio so often? No. It's just a way to talk to you through commercial breaks. The stream right now is around 500 to 600 concurrent on YouTube Every once in a while, if there's something popping off, it'll go a little bit higher than that. To bust from there up into the area of like, middle tier streamer with 1,000 concurrents or so, there is 0% chance that will happen. I'm just being honest with you. 0% chance that will happen with 7 and 8 minute commercial breaks. So if you got 3 7-minute commercial breaks, let's say, that's 21 minutes of commercial an hour and 39 minutes of content. Streamers play maybe 1 or 2 minutes of commercial at most for a full hour. So the streaming world is not used to sitting around and just waiting, and they won't. I've seen some of the biggest shows on iHeart on hundreds and hundreds of stations, like the Bobby Bones show. They speak so little on that show that when they try to stream it on YouTube, nobody is watching. And it makes sense. It's fine. Like, people just don't want that many commercials. So that's what the Skull Mike Squad is for. Abraham says, Skull Mike is also a good idea for his health. You know what? It actually is. Believe it or not, it actually is. Because sometimes I would sit over there just getting ready for the next segment when I could do some of that ahead of time or on the fly, and I wouldn't be moving around. And then it's like being on an airplane for 4 hours. It's not good. AJ Soup says, without Skull Mike, we don't have Dortney. True. Even though she brought me a banana with 0 salt on it, which is a next level sin. Tommy says, so we could bully the Trump trolls? You cannot just bully people who politically disagree with you, or politically disagree with me, or politically disagree with the show. But if somebody just jumps in and they're trying to troll to get attention, first of all, mods, bounce them when it's obvious that they're trying to do this. And second of all, bully them. We need more of that. Face a punishment for your dumb nonsense. Did that person even follow up? Was there even a secondary comment? I had no idea what they were talking about. They seemed like a real dumb person. Never thought you were a genius, but I felt you had a modicum of intelligence and did not need every piece of punctuation of the King's proper English to grasp the thought. I now see you do. Sorry. You absolute dipshit. You have failed to explain anything you're saying. It's not that I need the King's English. It's that you have to just make it clear what the fuck you're talking about, you retard. Put your comments out there. That's fine. But it's like reading a Mad Lib with nothing filled in. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what the point is. I'll give you one chance to apologize. If you apologize right now, you can hang out and chat. If not, I'm going to bounce you forever. And we'll never hear from you again. I know you love me. It's very clear. I know that's true. And you'll be here no matter what. But I'll bounce you just because overall it'll be more annoying than useful. Once you tip that scale, the annoying useful scale, it's over, buddy. 90 seconds. He might need GPT for sure. It's probably just like looking for some attention, which is, I get it. It's okay. But if you're the attention hound, it's probably only going to work a couple of times. And then I'm just going to ban you because I want people who want to be part of a community, not dumb people. Okay, folks. I love you. All the rest of you. We're coming back.
The Yard.
Why go to just another sports bar when you can go to Crushyard? The food, amazing. The drinks, top shelf. Craft beers, a gajillion of them. And then the big surprise, pickleball, all indoor on pristine new courts. So that's it, right? Wrong, because we've also got ping pong, cornhole, and a full arcade for the kids. So, Kissimmee, when the temps rise, cool off with the best food, games, and fun at the hottest new spot in town. Visit crushyard.com and follow us on social for details. See you down at the yard.
Live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Got questions after an accident? Just call Mo. Visit JustCallMo.com or dial 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando. An iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free, new and improved iHeart radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. Money. 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 Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Meet the three friends Bill Cosby called frat bros. This is the
White House. We'll play the audio for you. We'll see what's happening together. It's just kind of the point of this show. We look at everything happening in the world, everything viral each day, all the interesting things to discuss about. It's a busy world, and the planet is big. And so each day there's exciting, fun things to talk about. And that's what we hope you come here for, those fun things. Here's what's happening in the White House. Let's tune in. Let's see what's going on. You have the Canadian Prime Minister who just won. This guy just won. Mark Carney is his name. And they said he was nervous. He's in the White House meeting with Trump. And I guess it got a little awkward. Honestly, I haven't heard it yet. So let's kind of go over this together and see what we think. The Canadian Prime Minister is here. He's just been elected in Canada. And I don't think he likes Trump. You know, his whole thing that he ran on was like, Trump's not going to take Canada as a 51st state kind of stuff, which is obviously smart politics.
He ran against Trump and then immediately has to go visit him.
Yep. Put your tail between your legs.
I'd be a little nervous, yeah.
Go to the White House. Let's see what he said. Let's see how it went.
They get along very well. They like each other a lot.
Well, if I may, as you know from real estate, there are some places that are never for sale.
That's true.
We're sitting in one right now, Buckingham Palace that you visited as well.
That's true.
Having.
No, they're not. This is Buckingham Palace. He said they were in Buckingham Palace. It says the White House, though, in the upper left-hand corner.
No, he said Buckingham Palace that you visited recently.
He's saying we're sitting in one now, Buckingham Palace is also like a secondary place. Okay.
Met with the owners of Canada over the course of the campaign last several months. It's not for sale, won't be for sale ever. But the opportunity is in the partnership and what we can build together.
The voters
have done that in the past. And part of that, as the president just said, is with respect to our own security. And my government is committed for a step change in our investment in Canadian security and our partnership. And I'll say this as well, that the president has revitalized international security, revitalized NATO, and us playing our
That's true. Lead. He's saying something positive about me. That's true.
And they have
one at a time. Jesus.
Holy cow. That was 700 reporters all at once, right?
That was so much.
How do you even find a question in that, right? Like, okay, you're done with the first
You already
question.
have the person picked out that you're going to take the question from
Probably,
anyway?
yeah.
But they didn't say we're going to take questions now. They both just paused to take a breath. And everyone screamed at the same time.
Imagine if every time there was one breath of air on this show, there was a rabble, 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 rabble. All right, whoa. Okay, hang on, folks.
Chill out.
That will be part of it.
And they have, I must say, Canada is stepping up the military participation because Mark knew, they were low, and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
Never say never.
That's
I think he's talking
He just
about.
looked around and went, never.
Did he?
I think so. Look at him.
I don't know if it actually caught that. Hold on. let's see, did he mouth it or did it just? It was so loud.
I think it was very much overpowered by the questions of the reporters.
Because he's saying never say never about Canada being part of the U.S.
Mark knew, they were low, and now they're stepping it up, and that's a very important thing. But never say never. Never say never.
He
was like 5 nevers.
He mouthed never. I don't know if he actually audibly said it, but yeah, he was like going to all the cameras like never, 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 never. And I don't know if it got more tense than that. That didn't seem too tense. That just seemed like two dudes trying to do their.
It wasn't.
Their job.
It wasn't Zelensky tense.
No, that was way more exciting.
And then there was a lot of touching with somebody else. Who was it? Was it French minister?
I don't know. Oh yeah, the handshakes with Macron, how the leader of France, have always been very awkward because it's two guys who view the world through this lens that your handshake determines who is the alpha in that moment. And I didn't even know how you would handle that. If you're the president, do you always have to just give a rip-roaring handshake? I would be so terrible at that.
You don't have a good handshake? I thought you did.
It's not that I have a bad handshake. It's not that I do, but it's just that I miss a lot. And a lot of times somebody will be going for a little bit extra because I like the old-fashioned handshake. Like if C-Lane and I came up to each other and we see each other, I like shake his hand and be done with it. But far more often, it's like a bring it in for a pat on the back.
And then you have the, grab the forearm to indicate strength or something.
Or one of the biggest problematic things, Sabrina, is when I go in for the handshake and then other stuff happens underneath. Like they try to pull me in for,
Here's my biggest problem. And I just did this the other day with someone, it doesn't matter who it was.
Mm-hmm.
But in my nervousness, I hugged them and I could tell at the last minute, like I was already in their chest, but they had their hand out for a shake. And I just
that's awkward.
I went for the hug anyways.
That's awkward.
That was
for
my
ladies,
dad.
I don't know. Have you ever been in a situation where you met a woman, Sabrina, and the introduction process? Does a woman ever try to assert domination in a handshake like that, or has that never happened?
Oh, we just grab boobs.
Just
shake boobs.
Grab hooters. All right. No, seriously. There's got to.
No, I mean I haven't. I've never really gotten that. I've certainly. Exchanged
like a boss lady, like somebody at iHeart that's in management. Has anybody ever come up in like a tight handshake?
Not. It's been a good professional handshake. I'll give you that.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't after the handshake say, "Oh my God, what are they trying to do here?"
Right.
It was just a good professional handshake.
See, I never question after the handshake whether or not I was seen as the alpha or the beta or the septa or anything else you want to make up in the relationship or in the meeting. I only think about how much I screwed it up. That's what, on like an autistic, deep level, I go, how bad did that encounter go for me? And the more cool
the other person has already
is,
forgot about it.
Yeah, it's over. Like my nightmare is to meet like a Jamie Foxx. And then I go, what's up, Jamie Foxx? And then he goes, what's up, Sean? And he tries to do if he starts to slap his hand toward me, and then I know he's going to do some combination of cool things that ends with a snap, I'm going to fail.
It'll never end with a snap, Sean. Do not snap.
He could.
Nobody snaps.
If he did that, then I'm just sitting there, and I have been completely made a fool of. And I would go, I'm sorry. I apologize, and walk away from this. I don't know what the hell I was even thinking to start with. All right, we're going to go to you. Your dispatches are coming up here in just a moment of the show. We continue to see these fundraisers for people who probably shouldn't get fundraisers. Yesterday, for some time at least, there was a fundraiser for the Larry Henderson guy. And if you don't know who Larry Henderson is, don't worry, you're not alone. It's a new name. But it's the guy who the cops killed his son. Then he decided to go drive around and find a cop out on the streets. And when he found the cop out on the streets, he ended up running over him and killing the cop on purpose.
A cop or the cop who killed his son?
A cop. An unrelated cop, as far as I could tell. An unrelated cop was the target of this. And somebody actually commented on this yesterday, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Hi, News Junkie. I live in Cincinnati. The cop that parent killed was recently retired and was just volunteering when he was hit.
Oh, Jesus.
He was helping direct traffic for college graduation when the incident happened. And when he went in, he was like the father of this kid who was killed by the police. By the way, it looks like a justifiable death at the hands of the police. He had a gun. The police say, at least what they say, is that he pointed the gun at them and there was a reason for them to open fire on this guy's son. He's not some angel, unless more details come out. But his response was to go, they want to kill my son, I'm going to kill a cop. And now here he is in court. And the people online are saying he's a man of honor. We need to make a GoFundMe, an eye for an eye. You can see the hurt in his eyes about his son, this person says. Lots of positive comments. I love it. He kept his head high and said, you're not intimidating anything. I stand with Rodney. This is just the beginning. This is where it's at. All these white cops don't intimidate a man who feels he already lost everything. The world hates to see a black man protect his family, on and on. Now, of course, this is social media. There's always going to be weird comments like this and people supporting very extremist stuff.
Make a video like that, they were posting the most extreme comments.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, of course they were. But there is a trend in play that is new. I believe this to be new, as somebody who follows all these things, that we are taking people who are not victims, who are not viral weirdos, who are not the downtrodden underdog, and we're taking very, very divisive people and we're fundraising for them. You had, which seemed to kick it off, this young black kid who stabbed the teenager at the track and field event, who there's no evidence whatsoever that suggests this was in a proper self-defense. It just seems like he stabbed somebody in the heart and killed him. And then the GoFundMe, or the Give, Send, Go, if you will, in this case, raised a lot of money for him. Then you had this woman, I think that was in Rochester, because in Rochester they've been investigating this video, where this woman started to call a little kid the N-word, and some other dude, a bystander, saw it.
I read a little bit about this investigation, because I think they said the investigation is stopped, at least for now.
Mm-hmm.
But they were trying to figure out if there was anything actionable, and I was like, I didn't think there was anything illegal.
No, the words aren't illegal, thank God. The words aren't illegal, as nasty as they might be. I don't want to live in an America where people are getting arrested for things you find offensive. I don't want that. If she physically touched the little boy or like shoved him or did anything like that, go after her, absolutely. But this woman is a racist, and now they're chasing $500,000 on her funding account.
And there was people that were coming down on the guy who allegedly took the video. You know, his name was attached to some other sort of case, and they're saying he didn't even have kids. Why is he in a park? And then I read somewhere else that he has an autistic child.
Yeah, it's hard to find out what's what in some of these cases. C-Lane, I've looked through some of that as well. All I can tell just off the jump is that it seems like another bad person who got caught doing something bad. And it seems like a reactionary thing where they go, oh, yeah, you want to fund that guy? We're going to fund this person. We're going to fund this woman. And now this guy kills a cop and they had to GoFundMe for me. Now, GoFundMe has more rules, so I think they dunked it. I think they took down.
But now we have the
thing.
Go fund.
Give, Send, Go. C-Lane, see if you can find on Give, Send, Go something for Rodney Hinton.
There is. Rodney Hinton Jr.
Is there?
And this one, it's really small compared to some of the others. Right now, the goal is $6,000, and there's $1,800 in the purse there.
Okay.
It says it's from the big sister, Kiara. I'm reaching out for the community's support to help my brother with any legal fees. He's going to need more than $6,000.
Yeah.
Yes, my brother lost his son in the hands of the police, but we are very positive in our faith that justice will be served. Yeah, I think justice will be served, just not the kind that you think is going to happen.
Well, here's the difference real quick, C-Lane, between the platforms. GoFundMe, when I click on the link to this fundraiser not found. They took it down. They shut it down. Give, Send, Go, the one you're talking about, up and raising money for the guy who killed a cop who was volunteering at a traffic location.
Because how much of a cut is Give, Send, Go going to get?
Oh, look at that name that donated. What's not the one that we know.
Oh, yeah, Jason Bailey. Macwood, they kill our black men and boys just because they exist. I'm proud of Rodney for living. Nobody should get away with killing your son, yada, 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 yada. So this is what's flooding into a lot of these things. This is poisonous. This is bad. And it's all like downstream from even worse stuff. Like I've talked before about how your algorithm can absolutely shape how you see the world. You start seeing a bunch of videos. Like I was seeing videos of women fighting in fast food places nonstop. I started to think all you women were crazy and fighting in fast food places. But that's not true.
Watch your mouth. You want to fight, bitch?
That's not true at all. What's true is there's 350 million people in the United States of America. So a lot of dumb stuff happens every day. And now everybody's got cameras. But now, after people do things that are wrong, we have other people saying, well, there is no wrong anymore. Let's fund for that person. Let's raise them money. Let's do this.
There's a second give, send, go for Rodney Hinton, but I don't know that it has anything to do with the family, or it just says goals 100,000. It only has $65.
Yeah, it's just strange to see, and I hope that's not a hint of the future. These kind of things are very poisonous, very bad. And when anybody starts leaning into these things, it's divisive. Because the United States of America is made up of a lot of different types of people. And when people try to divide and conquer, you can be very successful. Because people they'll hold on tight to their in-group. And they'll say, well, this is happening, so this should happen. This is happening, so this should happen. I don't think we should be funding criminals and racists. Sorry. Don't think we should. Don't think we should be funding criminals and racists after doing these kind of things. Just full stop. That's where I'm at on that. But Give, Send, Go continues.
I guess GoFundMe at some point. I don't know if any significant money was raised on that fundraiser. I haven't seen a figure, but they apologized to the Cincinnati Fraternal Order of Police for the fact that the fundraiser existed and it was trying to raise money for Hinton Jr. And there's a Facebook post about it. And the first post, or the first comment says, the family needs to use the same platform that Shiloh Hendricks used.
Yeah. But Give, Send, Go has the rules are way more lenient over there, I guess, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
GoFundMe is the big target, and they have rules, and they follow them, and they don't allow this stuff to happen.
After a decade of letting things slide by.
Yeah, but I don't remember things like this necessarily. It was usually just
stupid things like potato salad.
Sure.
Or people raising on behalf of others, like raising on behalf of a homeless person and then taking the money from them for themselves.
Do you remember the Pulse shooting? How many GoFundMes there were?
Yeah, and you can't keep track of all of these or if the money's actually getting where it's supposed to. I have a lot of problems with these things, but it seems like GoFundMe at least follows some rules. The other stuff, nuts. All right, when we come back, we'll get to, before too long, we'll do jury duty. And jury duty, I want to focus on this massive lawsuit that has just hit the NFL. And I've got the lawsuit up. We'll look at that. We'll also talk about what's happening in the Diddy case. When we come back, they're hitting the roads. It's happening, friends, whether you like it or not. What is it? Well, you'll find out. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is
The Monsters in the Morning.
Try one more time.
I was wrong, Angel. We can auction off one more thing.
Thank you.
Okay.
Good promo.
The Monsters in the Morning.
Real Radio 104.1.
Look out for an accident on Colonial Drive near State Road 408, a crash on Orange Blossom Trail northbound before Cayley Street. The right lane's blocked on State Road 46 westbound near International Parkway. There's no accidents affecting the major roadways as of right now, although there's still some slowdowns on I-4 to keep an eye out for between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Perfect for instant contact with an aging parent. For a limited time, go to rapidradios.com and you'll get an extra 60% off, free UPS shipping, and add code RADIO for an extra 5% off.
Do you hear that? That's the sound of over 40 Greenway dealerships vying for your car when you trade it in at Greenway Kia. When dealerships compete, you win.
Skull Mike, stay put, hang on. Just finalizing today, I learned. Be patient. All right, printing. I'll get the
printouts and the audio for today I learned in the next break. And I got to do a live read then, too. How are we? Are you guys still being persnickety over here? Is it still a bit tense over in Chatland? Or are you feeling good? Let us know. Wait till you hear this NFL lawsuit. J-Turn says, I don't feel like adulting anymore. How old are you, J-Turn? That's the biggest question. Because if you're below 25, take the week off from adulting. Enjoy your youth before you turn 25. Be silly. Make mistakes. Enjoy yourself. If you're over 25, too bad. Perma adulting. You have to adult forever. You have to make sure you pay your bills. You can't have your power getting turned off if you're older than 25 years old. You know what I mean? You can't have your internet get disconnected for non-payment if you're over 25 years old. If you're younger than 25, that's okay. You can make mistakes and take breaks from adulting. But over 25, no. All's well in Twitch land. Everybody in Twitch feels good all the time. Yes, Twitch is a more balanced vibe overall. You guys are vibing, kind of chilling. You take your stances where you need to. Less wiling out. More funny comments. YouTube, step it up. As for those funding campaigns, I just don't know. I mean, it's hard to draw a line in the sand. Because what do you do? Like, does Daniel Penny, did he deserve to have people fund his defense? But the track and field guy, does he not deserve to have people fund his defense? Does everybody deserve to fund their defense, no matter what the charge is? Because somebody might think that there's a miscarriage of justice going on? I don't know. That's a very tough question, believe it or not. Because you're drawing a line in the sand. You know what I mean? 90 seconds. Michael says there's only 5 people on Twitch. YouTube throwing your weight around. Good. Go for it. Bully Twitch if you need to. We're coming back in just a moment. Hello? Welcome back. All right, we're coming back, folks.
Loud or quiet? Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love. Guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Mills Air in business since 1992. That's over 30 years here in Central Florida. They're not going anywhere. Carrier factory authorized dealer. You can always turn to the experts at Carrier. Equipment change outs and upgrades right now with up to $1,275 in rebates. Visit millsair.com.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. Legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Listen commercial-free. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Beatles Now and Then, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio! Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website, money. M-O-N-E-Y, money. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Send him your tips and your deepest, darkest secrets. Email tips at the
Chat, digging deep. Good for you. We'll get to that in just a moment. You can join us on the show. Send an email to tips@thenewsjunkie.com or send a video or audio dispatch. Do that over on the website, thenewsjunkie.com. When talking about these bad fundraising campaigns, the interesting thing is, if it's a court case type thing, like I just told you the story about how this dad, his son was killed by the cops, so he went and found a cop and ran him down and killed the cop with his vehicle. And now there's people going, hell yeah, brother, and funding this guy on Give, Send, Go. He's not getting a ton of money just yet. He's only got like $6,000 or something. But still, it's like this guy purposely ran over a cop, and there's a funding thing for him. And there was a funding thing for the track and field event where the teenager stabbed the other kid in the heart with a knife and killed him. He died next to his twin at this track meet. And then afterwards, there was a lot of funding for him, like almost $500,000. I said a lot of those people I think are probably driven by racism, and I stand by that. And then it went further with this woman who was being racist to a toddler or a child, a young child on the playground somewhere. That video goes viral. The police start investigating. She raises hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. Now, her case is a little different because there's not any charges against her. But on the other side of it, the real interesting conversation is, where do you draw the line? Everybody deserves their day in court. Everybody's supposed to be presumed innocent until guilty. Mm-hmm. So even if something is really bad, is it still okay that people fund that thing? Because, hey, this person might need help to defend them. Daniel Penny. There was money raised after he was involved in the death of Jordan Neely, and people said he was a murderer, cold-blooded. What if because those people said he was a murderer, he wasn't able to raise for his defense and therefore wasn't able to fight the charges and wasn't able to win?
No, Luigi, didn't he get?
Which he did in the end. Luigi got funding too. Yes, he's had people raising money for him on these websites. So it's kind of a newer thing that we have to grapple with as a society and go, are we okay with this? Or are we not? You know, what do we do about this? That's a very big question. You can tell us what you think over at thenewsjunkie.com.
To answer, Brad, yes, the cop that got hit by the car died.
Yes, he did. Yeah, the cop that was run over by that guy, the father, he did end up killing that officer who was a volunteer. Here's a
just
big
controlling a traffic light.
Yeah, just chilling. He was looking for somebody, and then that was the guy that he found, unfortunately. What do you think about this? No one is driving this truck. All right? Let me turn the music down.
No one's driving.
No one is driving this truck. This is a semi on the interstate, and it is 1,000% driving itself. It's cruising from one location to the other. It's from a company called Aurora, and it's real close to being common.
Is that the one? That's Nora. Never mind. Best
no,
picture.
This is Aurora. Aurora. It's a trucking company. And the autonomous freight firm, Aurora, is now hauling goods on a popular route between Dallas and Houston, Texas, with nobody is in the semi. No safety driver, nothing.
That's a long-ass drive.
Yep.
Fascinating, but I know we have a bunch of listeners that drive trucks for a living, and there is something to it. And I'm curious. This seems like a smooth drive, and hence the reason why they posted it on social media.
Well,
if there's someone that cuts you off and slams the brakes, then there's a lot to the truck stopping, considering physics and all that.
Yeah, this sucks for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is very, very, very different than Waymo. Waymo is a car in a city. Worst case scenario, gets stuck in a loop in a Chick-fil-A parking lot or something. This is a semi-truck, and it's already logged 1,200 human-free miles. There's nobody in the thing. It's just a semi-truck. You're on the interstate. You're cruising along, and the semi-truck is being driven by robots, by itself, by a computer. It's driving this thing down the road.
Here's the thing,
do you feel safe? Are you okay with that, or does this freak you out?
I'm a little freaked out. I'm 100% honest. Very much freaked out. Not even a little. However, they're getting away with this because anyone that's in your standard, not lifted truck, you can't often see the truck drivers unless you're doing like the honk your horn, sweet sour game.
It's tinted, it's way up in the air, and you have no idea that semi right next to you
That's weird, man.
Is being driven by itself. It's being driven by robots and computers.
Is there
cruising
someone
this thing.
in an HQ though, like just watching the whole time? Because I know that they have
Probably.
that now for construction machines.
Mhm.
I saw a really cool video of some guy who was like had monitors all over him, and he was controlling some giant crane, but obviously remotely.
Yeah.
So, do we have that as a failsafe?
I'm sure. Yeah, I would be very surprised if somebody wasn't at least monitoring the video and the stream of this semi cruising down the road. Their first customer over at Aurora is Uber Freight.
Oh.
I don't even have to explain that for you. I think you know where that's going, right? You know, Uber's branching off to the world of semis, and they want to use their technology in union with this to make something so they'll make even more money and put more people out of work. Uber is a wrecking ball in America. In some ways, giving people jobs, but in some ways, ripping people out of those jobs.
Oh, hell yeah.
In the long run, trust me, Uber would like it if they didn't have to pay anybody to do any of those things. If you just had this all automated.
I'm sure that they'll pass those savings along to us, the consumers.
Right, yeah,
Oh, for sure.
Right.
You
This
said
won't
it's
all-
gone 1,200 miles so far?
Yeah, it's gone 1,200 human free miles. Nobody in the semi at all.
That is a lot more than, what was this, 2019, where they tested one of these out on Florida's Turnpike.
Did they? Okay.
The
That's another
company
beast.
called Starsky did a test drive of 9.4 miles, merging onto the highway, navigating through traffic. The semi changed lanes and exited the stretch of highway without an issue.
Just 9 miles, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Versus
this
the
is
thousands.
6 years ago.
We're talking hop, skip, jump. The
Yeah.
jump is in 2035, the experts who track this stuff believe that 1 in 10 semis will be driven by robots and computers. No person in them.
Okay, so here's
Just
the thing.
cruise 'em.
We talked earlier today on the show about how one frayed wire shut down an airport
Mm-hmm.
for 2 minutes, minute and a half. How do we not have a little bit of anxiety considering that in 10 years there's not one frayed wire that will shut all of this down?
I don't know that there's any way ever that you could prevent all accidents from happening, right? The biggest concern is that there's an accident that was caused by a self-driving vehicle, not somebody else who ended up running into the self-driving vehicle. You can't stop all accidents from occurring. But the problem with these big rigs is we're not talking about a fender bender. We're talking about a high rate of speed on the interstate, and there's no one behind the wheel of this thing.
I mean, think about weather conditions when those change. If you're having autonomous trucks, minus the ERS part, and it is massive fog or black ice or anything that we have seen videos of a 30 Carl, I keep saying my dog's name. 30
Carl pileup?
It still sounds like a really small pileup.
I know,
30
but
little Carls.
He's so cute.
That'd be the most adorable accident I can think of. 30 little Carls
Except when he
crashing into each
starts
other.
barking, and then it'll pierce your ears and make them bleed. But, I mean, how do we know that that technology is ready for something like that?
It can't
Humans
be. There's no
aren't.
way. All they can prove is this. It works. Yeah, but if some sort of thing you're not expecting gets thrown at this, then we have an out-of-control semi, and you're going to be on the road next to these things. It's happening right now. It's crazy to think about. And that's a company called Aurora.
No,
Well,
I want to see a 30 Carl pile up.
yeah, that would be so cute.
Who's our AI friend? That always does it for you.
All Day Yuckers is available
Hey, Yucks.
sometimes for those. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll do jury duty. I told you we would focus on 2 things in jury duty. One, the NFL just got hit with a huge lawsuit, and I actually have the lawsuit right in front of me. We're going to hit this and see what's going on. The big lawsuit against the NFL, is there anything to this? Are they going to get $100 million? We'll go through the actual lawsuit, plus the Diddy case. What's going on with that? We'll check in. That's coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Facebook at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733. This is 11-year NBA veteran Katina Mobley. This is what's trending from iHeart Sports Network.
Presented by Thrivent.
Florida men's hoops coach Todd Golden is getting his bag after he won the national title. He signed a 6-year, $40.5 million extension today. The Rays, they'll host Philadelphia tonight. That'll open a 3-game series. Tampa going for a third straight win. They'll have Drew Rasmussen on the mound. And the NHL's looking to build off their success with a Four Nations face-off with an international-themed event during the next All-Star Weekend. I'm Scott Davidson.
At Thrivent, planning your finances is bigger than money. It's a way to support the people, causes, and community you love. Because the most important thing isn't what you're planning for, it's who. Thrivent, where money means more. Connect with us at Thrivent.com.
Love stuff like this, helping people out using technology to make your life better. And for over 8 years, a company named QC Kinetics has been the nation's leader in non-surgical relief for joint pain. So if you're trying to go for a walk, if you're doing a day out at the parks, and you find that your shoulder, your hips, your knees are hurting, you're in a group of a lot of people who have to deal with this every day. I'm looking at QCkinetics.com, and their website says feel better, move better, and live better. And that's the motto that they go by. What they're doing is absolutely amazing. It's on the forefront of science and everything else in health and medicine. It's called regenerative cell therapy. This can restore the tissue in your achy joints. They're using biologic growth factors with robust healing properties. It's powerful. They're smarter than me. They know about regenerative medicine, and you should too. I'll tell you about their website in just a moment here. But the bottom line, if you've got those pains, those achy joints, no drugs, no surgery, no downtime. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime, and the consultation is free. Here's the deal. You can call them to get that free consultation to live your best life and be more comfortable at 689-244-7980. That's 689-244-7980, or find them at kckinetics.com.
Carl Black GMC wants to send you and a friend to Nashville for a weekend getaway and tickets to see Whiskey Myers on Saturday, July 19th at Ascend Amphitheater. Log on to carlblack.com/win and enter for your chance to win 2 lawn seat tickets to see Whiskey Myers in Nashville. Round-trip airfare and 2 nights deluxe hotel accommodations at the Omni Hotel Nashville are included. Plus, Carl Black GMC will also put $200 spending cash in your pocket. Log on to carlblack.com/win for your chance to grab Whiskey Myers prizes, including a pair of lawn seat tickets, spending cash, round-trip airfare, and deluxe hotel accommodations in Nashville.
As a lineman, he does whatever it takes to keep the power on in his community. And he wants a partner like Grainger who does the same. Grainger offers the professional-grade products he needs, from voltage detectors to harnesses to hard hats, plus fast, dependable delivery, so he can rise to every challenge. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Let's go, Mike. We're cruising along. What time is it? Oh, we're coming up on jury duty. We'll get into this lawsuit here in a second of somebody suing the NFL for $100 million. Will they pay out? I don't know how I feel about that. The tough thing is, automated driving for semis seems inevitable, as does automated driving for all vehicles. It seems inevitable. It seems like it will happen in our lifetime. It's just going to be a thing. That sucks because of the jobs for these truckers that have been doing this for so long. Those truckers can only drive for so long. The AI can keep driving through the night. The truckers are going to be more expensive than it will be to replace them with robots. Those are good jobs, hardworking people that are going to be replaced. And then you have the idea of having those big, massive vehicles driving themselves. Then we get to, well, what happens when they don't want to pay the pilots anymore? And the pilots aren't there. Pilots already can almost be replaced with 100% automation. It's coming. That's why you have a future on the horizon that has very little work. What if you can say, we want to do construction on this construction site, and then all the front end loaders and all the equipment is automated, no human beings involved, and then we want to build a house on that site, and all of that is done by equipment that's just putting things where it needs to go, doing all the work, and the equipment's brought from one place to another by autonomous semis. And when you go to get something to eat on your work break, the fast food places are not staffed by young people like they should be. They're staffed by all robots and computers. It's crazy and it's happening, friend. All right, we're coming back.
It's FASWD.com.
Not everyone who handles your personal information is as careful as you are, which might explain why there's a victim of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
At Rasmussen University, we offer a full suite of nursing programs from pre-licensure to doctoral, online and on campus. Programs vary by campus. Learn more at rasmussen.edu/Florida.
Forever at the crossroads between viral news and total chaos.
This is the most interesting stuff happening. What you need to know about. The Diddy thing's getting weird already, and I want to tell you why I think I think maybe some of the jurors are not being honest.
Without a doubt.
I think maybe. We'll get into that in a moment. We want to hear from you. Your dispatches are welcome always, video or audio dispatches, and your emails, tips, TIPS at thenewsjunkie.com. Another anonymous near-death experience coming in. You want to hear from this person?
Yeah.
This person says to tips at thenewsjunkie.com, I watched myself melt down the drain in the shower. Okay.
Acid.
Long story
Should
short.
not take showers on that amount of drugs.
A few days after my grandmother passed away, I took about 7 grams of mushrooms at the beach earlier that day. And about 2 hours into it, I started spiraling. I told my boyfriend at the time.
2 hours in after 7 grams intake?
I told my boyfriend at the time to take me home. I just remember crying out the window the entire way home. Once I got into a very hot shower and sat on the floor, I then astral projected and watched myself melt down into the drain. I came out of it once the water turned cold. Honestly, it was a great experience. Would I?
7 out of 10 would recommend.
I didn't expect a positive review at the end of this. Would I do it again? Probably not, LOL. But I learned a lot about myself, and I feel like I handle life much better and have more control over my emotions. Love the show, they say.
I imagine this was this their shower? Because do you share showers with your female loved ones, Sean and C-Lane?
I do not.
Separate?
I have my own separate shower.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's a game changer when you snake that shower and see what ladies' hair can create.
My God. Yeah, I've seen this. Yeah,
I can't imagine. There would be no way I could melt into the shower drain without being mixed up with blonde and brown hair.
Yeah, there's a lot of women have a lot of hair. A couple more here. Phil says the Alcolo, that's the name of the brand of that very generic looking stuff.
Yes.
It's a newer brand that's owned by Whistling Diesel, which is some viral YouTube person. That being said, from what I heard, it tastes horrible. I haven't tried it. It's not some fake brand. It's just a newer release.
It doesn't sound good. I know it's not fake. I mean, I don't think I could buy a fake thing.
But I just love the balls to just put that out there with no description of taste whatsoever.
Yeah,
just
nobody said it
alcohol.
was like not real. C-Lane knew it was real. He saw it in the store. It's just
I
that
held it in my hand.
It said alcolo, and then it looked like the most generic alcoholic beverage that one has ever seen in their life. That's why it was of interest.
I saw it. I go, I don't think that's Spanish for alcohol, but it's just
Cerveza.
weird.
It seems like it is.
But that would be beer. This is not a beer. This is an alcohol.
Well, what's Spanish for alcohol? Alcoholo? It sounds like it might be.
I think it just sounds like alcohol. Just a Spanish person saying it.
I got a bunch more good near-death experiences, but we're going to save those for right now because it's time to do jury duty.
Court is now in session, so put your phone down and pay attention before we call the bailiff over to whip your ass. You're now on jury duty with the News Junkie.
Jury duty, brought to you by the one, the only Mo DeWitt of the DeWitt Law Firm. Injured on the go, just call Mo. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or go to justcallmo.com. After you get into an accident, don't worry, calm down, take care of yourself. Make sure if you need to go see a doctor, you go see a doctor. And after that, you need an attorney. Start going towards an attorney that's going to help you go against the insurance companies because they want to rip you off. Mo's your guy. 800-CALL-MO, 800-CALL-MO, or justcallmo.com. All right, what do we got? First, let's do this. The NFL is being sued, and here is the lawsuit that they are facing. It says, in the United States District Court for the Northern District of Georgia. So in Atlanta, a lawsuit has been filed against the National Football League.
Yeah, baby.
The plaintiff is unnamed. It says John Doe on the complaint is a resident of the state of Georgia and a consumer of the products and services of the National Football League.
Is a football watcher.
Yeah, that seems like that's a lot of people you're talking about. The defendant, the National Football League, is an organized professional sports league. Yeah, we know that. And they talk about jurisdiction and venue and request to proceed. Here's the factual background of this big-time lawsuit for $100 million. Plaintiff is a dedicated fan of Colorado football and has closely followed Shedeur Sanders through 2023 and 2024. Plaintiff attended the Colorado Buffaloes' first game against the TCU Horned Frogs, witnessing firsthand Sanders' exceptional talent in the quarterback as a quarterback in Coach Deion Sanders' debut. Plaintiff regularly consumes media content related to Shedeur Sanders. Despite Sanders' demonstrated skills and significant attention, he didn't get drafted until 144th pick during the 2025 NFL Draft. Reports and leaked statements said that he tanked interviews and wasn't prepared and was too cocky, which harmed his reputation. If these slanderous statements reflect biases that influence the NFL's decision-making process, it caused emotional distress and trauma to the plaintiff as a fan and consumer. So
This is worse than the trauma of the air traffic controllers.
He's saying
it's so interesting.
He wants more than 45 days off. He wants $100 million from the NFL because it was tough for him to watch the Shedeur Sanders draft take so long.
He also watched as the NFL fined the coach's kid $100,000 and then the team itself $250,000. So they're like, they must have plenty of money.
Yeah, this has nothing to do with the prank call, though. This is just suing the NFL for what position the kid got drafted in?
Your player that you were interested in didn't get drafted early enough, so you sue the NFL for $100 million.
Some lawyer wrote this up, though, right? Or is ChatGPT doing this kind of paperwork now?
It's real. It's been filed. John Doe versus the NFL. Wow. It continues. These slanderous statements reflect biases that influence the NFL's decision-making process, causing emotional distress and trauma to the plaintiff as a fan and consumer. So now he's talking about claims for relief. A violation of the Civil Rights Act, the Sherman Antitrust Act, and it may have been influenced by racial discrimination.
Intentional infliction of emotional distress and trauma. I don't even think you could prove that.
They did it.
Because you're saying that you as a fan has this inflicted on you. Like the emotional distress and trauma. Like if I was doing this lawsuit, if I was John Doe, it would be like, oh, I'm suing the NFL because they said we are going to intentionally inflict emotional disease and trauma on C-Lane.
Yeah. And then I want $100 million.
The NFL knows who you are.
It says intentional infliction of emotional distress and trauma. The NFL's actions and the dissemination of slanderous statements have caused severe emotional distress. Severe. not seeing him get drafted earlier. Severe emotional distress and trauma to the plaintiff. He's one of these soft people I was talking about, resulting in frustration, disappointment, and psychological harm as a fan. So here we go. What do we want for relief here? What do we want? Punitive damages in the amount of $100 million for the harm caused to the plaintiff and the impact of the NFL's actions
If
and
this
his
goes
emotional
through,
well-being.
the precedent that will be set.
Everybody gets money. Everybody.
But
You're harmed.
Devil's advocate, but very loosely. The NFL sues everybody for everything, do they not?
They go after the people for fines that are amongst their employees, I guess.
They'll send some secret peepers to see if you're playing their game and then fine you hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah,
It's not a taste of their own medicine.
If this guy gets $100 million, how does that prevent every fan of every football team from saying...
It doesn't, but this guy's not getting a red cent.
You don't think so?
No.
I bet they settle.
No.
I bet.
Hell no.
No.
Yeah, I bet they're going to settle. I'll tell you right now.
If they settle, that's the worst precedent you could ever
Let's
set.
go, baby.
Then they just say, Sabrina, file another $100 million lawsuit. Because
If they settle, I could just cross out John Doe and write Chris Lane. And let's effing go.
Conclusion in the lawsuit. The plaintiff requests that the court consider this complaint and take appropriate action to address the intentional emotional distress and trauma suffered as a result of the NFL's collusive practices and harmful statements regarding Shedeur Sanders, John Doe. Should he get the money or should the NFL fight this?
Do it.
What do you settle for? $100 million. That's craziness right there. All right. What else? Diddy, the Diddy case. I wanted to talk about how I think the jurors are already lying in the Diddy case. But
lying because they want to stay in it or get out?
Yeah. I think some people want to be in the jury for this case.
I would.
I would.
Like they want the drama. It's just like watching online drama, watching drama on television. Real life drama of being a juror on a jury on a case like this.
How are they going to find anyone who has not heard of this case already?
There's no way. And the things they're saying, I don't believe them. I think they want to be on this jury, and I think some of the jurors might be lying. But we'll go over this. We'll tell you what's happening. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Your chance to win $1,000 in your hand is minutes away on Real Radio 104.1. Brought to you by Mills Air.
From the Clausman Law Traffic Center, car crash, call Clausman Law. ClausmanLaw.com.
There's an accident slowing down traffic on Florida's Turnpike southbound after Hancock Road. Emergency crews are clearing up that accident there. The right lane's blocked on Orange Blossom Trail northbound before Cayley Street. Look out for a crash on State Road 46 westbound near International Parkway. And there's debris on the roadway on I-4 eastbound before State Road 429, causing a bit of commotion there. If you see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rocket. Rocket.com is the new home for all things home ownership. Whether you're buying your first home, finding your next one, or unlocking home equity to fund one of your dreams, there's only one destination that has everything you need to get started, all under one roof. Get started today at Rocket.com. Rocket, own the dream.
Are you ready to put some cash in your pocket? Because Real Radio is giving you a chance to win $1,000 by putting $1,000 in your hand. You know the deal with our national contest. We'll give you a keyword at the top of every hour from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. And all you have to do is enter it on our website at realradio.fm for your chance to win. With 13 chances every...
Hang on, Skull Mike. Hang on. Get into the alert audio. Be patient. Okay. Whoa, 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 whoa. Almost lost my pen, which is unacceptable.
Folks, the most absolutely based pen is the Sharpie S Gel. The Sharpie S Gel Gold. It's gold. It's thick. It's heavy. It feels just right if you're a pen person. This is a winner. This sucker. That's a winner. Not an ad. Not getting any money, but it's just the right amount of weight that makes you want a pen like this. Quality. Big Digit says AI wouldn't lose a pen. True. But I don't know that AI will ever be able to do a show like this. Like, would you ever watch an AI stream? They tried to do that, and they had like that Seinfeld type show, and it got early interest, and then everybody just left it in the dust. The future to me in all of this, if you care to hear, in the worlds of podcasting, broadcasting, live streaming, social media, all of these things. The future of this in the next 10 years and beyond is going to be solely about personalities. And that's not AI, or it doesn't have to be at least. Personalities that people will go to, that they trust, or that they enjoy spending time with, or that they get some enjoyment out of disagreeing with, or whatever. But personalities as opposed to brands like CNN or whatever you might think of. Now there's no reason why you can't start up your own thing and get to the audience, but you have to get out there, cover the ground like I'm trying to do, and connect with as many people as you can. And that's the future. But I don't know, like, they could clearly, with graphics, make somebody look like a host and go through all the things and gather the latest viral content and react. But would you watch it? Maybe. Two minutes, everybody. You need to look at that cat poster that says hang in there. They do. It always works for me. It's a good pick-me-up. I could use one of those around here in the studio. I could use that myself. The only artificial intelligence I would watch is BattleBots. That show used to be pretty dope. I used to like BattleBots back in the day. But I just don't know that you could replace a streamer or a radio host. You could replace a DJ, like talking between songs. Nobody would even notice. They haven't. They've already done it. And they will do it. All of those like radio DJs, their time is limited. They're not going to pay those people for much longer when they can have 1, 3, 5 personalities in AI talk between all these songs and give out local information and do all that. It's done. It's toast. But they can't do this yet. Yet. Coming back.
Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey, Russ Rollins here. Do me a favor. Join the Monsters along with Savannah, the Queen of Gators. We'll be broadcasting our show live from Gatorland, and that's Friday the 16th. We're also going to be celebrating Gatorpalooza Fun Fest on May the 17th and 18th. It's Gatorpalooza. They're going to feature music, DJs, food, vendors, artisans. They're going to have games, giveaways, and it's the 5th annual Gatorland Florida Man Challenge on Saturday. Best of all, this extra fun is included in your regular admission, and Florida residents save half off. It's Gatorland's way to give back to the community.
Broadcasting live from the JustCallMo.com studios. Need help after an accident? Just call Mo. Learn more at JustCallMo.com or call 1-800-CALL-MO. This is WTKS-FM HD1 Cocoa Beach, Orlando, an iHeart radio station. Make us the #1 preset on your car radio and on the free new and improved iHeart Radio app. Listen for all your music, radio, and podcasts. Free never sounded so good.
Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is the news.
Yeah, I think they're lying. We'll talk about what's going down with that in a second. Welcome back, friends. We'll get to more of your comments here in a moment on the show, your dispatches and emails. We're back on the News Hounds. We're back to tackle the day. Yeah, if you're new, the show has been renamed.
Yeah, we had other opportunities.
The News Hounds is the latest one I remember. So I don't know what the other ones were, but just renaming the show as we go today because that's what they did with the #1 movie in the box office.
Mic'd Up Mayhem.
Mic'd Up
Luga.
Peisenberg pointed out that we're missing out because clearly Thunderbolts is now open for the taking now.
Oh, true.
Oh, that's true. We could be the Thunderbolts. We could be the Thunderbolts because they took the movie, the #1 movie at the box office, Thunderbolts, and they said, nope, now it's called The New Avengers. And they're changing the movie posters. They're changing the trailers. They're changing the movie titles in the theater. They're changing everything like on Fandango and all that stuff. The movie is now changing its name, which I'm sure they planned on, but it's just weird. I've never seen that done like this. The only way you see this done is...
They're going to assume we're superheroes.
Movies will go under a title. They'll do like a... I don't know what they call it, like being filmed as or I forgot what it is. But there's a title that people will use while they're making the movie, which is often fake.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. And I cannot give you the phrase for it, but I remember when I was doing Sharknado 3, oh hell no, they had a completely different title for those that were trying to get the sneak peek.
Like a code name.
Yeah.
Like one of the, like Return of the Jedi was Blue Harvest.
Uh-huh.
And that's what was on all the slates and stuff.
Right, but by the time you got to the theater, by the time you got to promotions, that movie had a name.
Yeah.
And you stuck with it for the most part.
Like a pseudonym.
Yeah. All right, before we get to this Diddy thing and how I think the jurors are maybe lying, real quick, an email, tips@thenewsjunkie.com. Jay says, podcast listener here. Hey, podcast Jay. Was listening to yesterday's show where you talked about folks blowing up a dead whale. That is not such a good idea. I don't know if you've found the footage yet, but I'm including the YouTube link of a whale they blew up in Oregon in the 1970s.
Okay, it's so funny that Jay brings this up because after we talked about this yesterday, right before I went to bed last night, I watched this week's most recent Last Week Tonight with John Oliver.
Okay.
And like the whole first half or first section of it was all political and it was really good. It was about the deportations and a lot of the craziness that has gone on with that. And then the second half, like the fun half, was all about minor league baseball teams.
Okay.
And like all of the different shenanigans that minor league baseball teams go through to attract attention, put asses in seats, make money, sell merchandise, all that stuff. And they said even covering like temporarily changing your name. And there was a team in Oregon that changed their name to like the Whale Exploders or something like that.
Okay.
Just temporarily to commemorate what we're about to watch. So we said on the show yesterday, like, oh man, we would love to see footage of them blowing up this whale. We got to find this video. And then out of nowhere, randomly, I get served up this video during John Oliver while watching it last night before I went to bed.
Really? Well, Jay sent this in. I'll play in a second. They're saying it, working title is the name of that idea where you have like a fake version or fake name for the movie before it's totally done. But yeah, the exploding whale, an infamous moment in Oregon history.
It had to be said, the Oregon State Highway Division not only had a whale of a problem on its hands,
a whale of a problem,
a stinking whale of a problem. What to do with one 45-foot, 8-ton whale dead on arrival?
It's huge.
Beach near Florence. It had been so long since a whale had washed up in Lane County, nobody could remember how to get rid of one. In selecting it back.
It's been so long.
It sounds like they go and ask everybody. They're like, do you remember how to get rid of this whale? You can blow it up.
Should I fast forward to the whale blow up part?
Yeah.
Let me go right here. Here we go. I got it.
Were moved back a quarter of a mile away.
They're backing up.
The sand dunes there were covered with spectators and landlubber newsmen, shortly to become land blubber newsmen. The blasted blubber beyond all believable bounds.
Here we go.
Ew.
10, 9.
You get a while?
8.
They're a pretty good distance from the whale right now. They are like football fields away. I think he's at a quarter mile. 3, 2, 1. Blow it up. Oh!
Yeah, not far away now.
Oh, it rained down on top of him. No, it's
Ew,
disgusting.
that's so nasty.
Wait till you see the car.
The whale blew up
Our
and
cameras
it landed
stopped
everywhere.
rolling immediately after the blast. The humor of the entire situation suddenly gave way to a run for survival as huge chunks of whale blubber fell everywhere. Pieces of meat passed high over our heads while others were falling at our feet. The dunes were rapidly evacuated as spectators escaped both the falling debris and the overwhelming smell.
So it like smashed all these vehicles.
Yeah. A lot of the windshields were just like blown out.
Imagine how stinky it was forever.
They're going to do that again? They're going to blow one of these things up? Oh,
I thought it blew up on his own.
No, that one, I think they might have charged that sucker up.
The most recent one.
Yeah.
They charged it up?
No, there is one that they were trying to get rid of that they said they were going to blow up. The one we talked about yesterday on the show. That's what he's mentioning. All right, to these Diddy jurors. Let's talk about the Diddy jurors because I think they might be lying a little bit. I do think they might be lying a little bit. Jurors, 150 of them, were asked a couple of questions before they were chosen for Diddy's trial. And it seems like some of these folks maybe want to be on the case. They want to be part of all the drama and everything that's about to happen here. So they asked him, hey, have you heard of any of these names before? Kanye West, Michael B. Jordan, Mike Myers. Have you heard of Kid Cudi? Have you heard of Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child? Have you heard of Young Miami, Aretha Franklin, TLC, Pink, Gwen Stefani? Have you heard of any of these names?
I have not heard of Young Miami.
The jurors, the potential jurors, they were like, no, haven't. Kanye, you say? No, I'm not familiar with that person right now.
Maybe a Mo-list thing, but even if you said, yeah, I've heard of them, doesn't make you completely out of jury selection.
No.
Okay.
They just use that as a question to see, is this person tuned into this at all?
Got it.
But who on earth doesn't know who Kanye is or Mike Myers or Michael B. Jordan?
No, not the people I think they want to consider Diddy's peers.
Yeah, they're like, nope, never heard of those people. I'm not familiar. Put me on the case here. I'd love to be on this trial because they want all that juicy drama. And it would be exciting. I'm not going to lie to you. It would be a very exciting thing to see. Speaking of exciting, they've just dropped the first trailer for the final season. They call it the final season of Squid Game.
Ooh.
Releasing June 27th on Netflix, they say. And fun. I don't know if they're lying about that or if it really will be the end of Squid Game, but it's really just part 2 of the second season.
But let me tell you, very thankful that it's not 2 years after the last season.
Yeah. Like when Breaking Bad did their last season, they split it in 2 and they did a whole year between the 2 halves. This was just a matter of months.
Yeah, this was at the beginning of the year, 2025, when they released the first part of this. But now they're saying the final season of Squid Game has been released. I'm kind of in a spot where I don't know how you guys feel about this. I don't really want to watch trailers anymore.
Yeah. They ruin stuff?
I find that the trailers ruin things, or they maybe turn me off of something that I wouldn't be turned off of if I just went in cold. I think that it is kind of made for dummies, and they go, here's what's happening in the movie, A, B, C, D, E, F, G. And I don't like it. Every night, Courtney picks a movie that we watch, and we get the movie, and I go in ice cold, and I dig that. I like that.
I'll watch like the first 15 seconds of a trailer,
mm-hmm.
and I'm either in or out. Last time we watched Companion on Max or Peacock.
What'd you think about the robot?
Yeah, like the you know which one I'm talking about?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I thought it was fantastic.
It was interesting, right? It was good.
I watched the trailer and I was like 10 seconds in. I'm like, okay, I don't want to spoil any more for myself.
Yeah,
and
that's how I am.
The trailer gave me too much information.
I think that we need like 15-second trailers. Just tell us what's going on. Yeah, like give us that little byline. Like when they go, a man who is in a new relationship and is about to be hanging out with his friends finds out not everything he sees he can believe, or just like one little thing where you go, oh, okay.
Yeah, but the trailers are for people who are not like us. They not like us, Kendrick Lamar,
Mm-hmm.
in the sense of, especially when it comes to children's movies, you play those trailers in all its length, and those kids are screaming at their parents to take them to the movie multiple times, and that's where the money comes in.
But for adults, I don't want to know all this crap about the movie. I don't want, especially if a trailer is 30 seconds long, it's all right. You're not going to spoil too much usually, even so, sometimes I do. It's that long trailer. It's that one that's like almost 2 minutes long, and you tell me, here's what happens at the beginning. Here's what happens in the middle. But don't worry, this happens at the end. And now you've ruined it for me. So I don't want to see the Squid Game trailer, I don't think. I don't know if I want that. I want give me a movie trailer GIF. Give me a movie trailer commercial that's 15 seconds
Would you
long.
watch the Squid Game trailer if it was in Korean? So you couldn't understand what they're saying, and maybe you would have less of an idea what goes on?
No, because the visuals are usually there. It's still like, we know this is going to happen, and then look at this, but then this crazy. I don't want that anymore. I don't want that. BDMX Con says, Sean watches a lot of movies. Don't need to sell somebody who's already going. Oh, I know. Yeah, I know that it's not necessarily for me, but I'm saying for me personally, I'd rather not do it. And we watch old movies too. Last night we watched a Josh Hartnett movie.
Which one?
Believe it or not. I think it was
my first celeb
called
crush.
Wicker Park, I believe. Wicker Park from
Wicker
2004. And it's sort of like you got to guess what's really happening. There's twists and turns type of movie. And I was into it, and I knew I had watched it when it first came out, but I hadn't seen it in a long time. So I didn't want to know much about it. I just want to know the very basic nuts and bolts, I guess, of the story. That's all I want to know anymore. I don't want that whole trailer anymore. Let us know about you. Let's get a couple more emails in. Anonymous emails the show and says, 20 years ago, I was driving I-4 to Disney, second shift. As I passed under the Ronald Reagan overpass, I saw in my rear view mirror a car pushed in front of a semi, and everything disintegrated into the bridge supports. All I could think was, what if I had taken 30 seconds longer that day getting ready for work? That was my near-death experience. So many of you had something like this. This is, doesn't say anonymous, so Andrew. Sean, it was snowing on my drive to work, so the roads were a little thick. I saw a train crossing. I noticed that a van coming the other direction had hit the pole that holds the crossing gate and was laying across the train tracks. The crossing lights were flashing and the gate was going down on my side of the road. I stopped about a car length early. The man that was standing next to the van started running as the express train came down the track at speed and hit the pole laying across the tracks. The pole passed through the space I should have been stopped at and started mowing down all the trees to the right of my car. Some of the trees were at least a foot in diameter and traveled 25 yards into the wood. It would have taken the top of my car off, says Andrew. Could change you fast. A lot of other people chiming in with that. But we're going to take a very quick break. When we come back, we got some stuff to get in at the last minute here before we wrap things up. We got a man and a bear in a story. Got an update on those panic buttons at bodegas. We got updates on Real ID. Is tomorrow going to be chaos as that deadline approaches? a lot more to wrap up on a Share the Show Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real Radio is on Instagram at Real Radio 1041. Sponsored by the law offices of Anajar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Have you been in an accident? Call the law offices of Anajar and Levine at 1-800-747-FREE.
That's 1-800-747-3733.
There's a crash slowing down traffic on Florida's Turnpike southbound near Hancock Road. That's off to the right shoulder. Traffic still slowing down on I-4 between Osceola Parkway and after State Road 535. There's congestion at the ramp junction where Florida's Turnpike meets the beach line. You won't be expecting any problems around the perimeter of I-4 on State Road 429 in the Greenway. But if you do see traffic troubles, call the Valvoline Instant Oil Change traffic tip line at 866-676-8477. From the Traffic Center, I'm James Birmingham.
This report is sponsored by Rapid Radios.
Rapid Radios are instant push-to-talk walkie-talkies offering national LTE coverage and no subscription ever. Business owners can now keep in touch with up to 200 staff members at one time. Go to rapidradios.com now for up to 60% off and free shipping.
Folks, we live in Central Florida. It's been a little bit warmer these past couple of weeks, and it's only going to get warmer from here. I got to tell you about a company that I know and I trust. It's a company started by Leon Mills, and of course, it's called Mills Air. Mills Air, one by one, is ready to win all of you homeowners over. They want to show you that they are fair, that they do the right thing by you and their other customers, and that their techs are the best of the best. That's why they've made it over 30 years, being a family-owned and operated, locally owned and operated company. That's why I love them. They're also a Carrier factory authorized dealer. And if you don't go through a Carrier factory authorized dealer like Mills Air, you'll miss out on huge rebates on a brand new Carrier unit. You could always turn to the experts at Carrier, and you could always turn to family owned and operated Mills Air. 407-277-1159. That's the number, 407-277-1159, or find them online at millsair.com.
Looking for top quality fencing in Florida? Fence Outlet has been the state's fencing expert for over 30 years. With 8 convenient locations, we offer a wide variety of styles and colors to enhance your property's security and curb appeal. Go to fenceoutlet.com to book your free estimate. License number C-10252 and C-10803.
Victim of a slip and fall? It takes one phone call to take back control of your life. Anajar and Levine will fight to get you the compensation you deserve. Call me, Mark Anajar, for a free consultation. 1-800-747-FREE. That's 1-800-747-3733.
In office, Orlando.
When it comes to replacing your roof, father and son know best. That's why FAS Exteriors is Orlando's #1 window, door, and roof contractor. You can count on fair pricing, install perfection, and customer satisfaction every time. When it's time for roof replacement, see for yourself why customers in Orlando trust the leader in FAS Exteriors. Because father and son really do know what's best. Schedule your free consultation now at FASWD.com. That's FASWD.com.
Get ready, Orlando. Annie Jr. is hitting the stage at Creation Village World School. Don't miss this classic high-energy musical about hope, family, and finding your place in the world. 4 shows only, May 8th, 10th, 15th, and 17th. Tickets start at just $15. Grab yours now at our.show/CVWS-Annie. Big smiles, big songs, and a show you'll never forget.
Still getting around to that fix on your car? You got this. On eBay, you'll find millions of parts guaranteed to fit. Doesn't matter if it's a major engine repair or your first time swapping your windshield wipers. eBay has that part you need, ready to click perfectly into place for changes big and small, loud or quiet. Find all the parts you need at prices you'll love, guaranteed to fit every time. But you already know that. eBay. Things, people, love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Joe Rossi from Greenway Kia here. Tariffs are hitting the auto industry hard, but we're ready. We loaded up on brand new Kias across all 3 locations. Right now, they're in stock and tariff-free, with interest rates as low as 0% for 72 months. Plus, take $3,000 off any new 2025 Kia Sportage. We want to see you in a Kia. Visit greenwaykias.com.
Stock number SG292557. MSRP $30,840. Qualified applicants through KFA. 0 down. $13.88 per thousand borrowed for 72 months at 0% APR financing. Plus tax, title, license. $8.99 dealer and $249.50 doc fee. Expires 5/31/25.
The free iHeartRadio app has over 100 commercial-free stations waiting for you to explore right now, like the Beatles Now and Then, celebrating all things Beatles. legendary clips, deep cuts, live performances, and all their solo hits. Listen commercial-free. Just open the free iHeartRadio app, search Beatles Now and Then, and make it your next preset.
iHeartRadio. Real Radio has your chance to win $1,000. Just enter this nationwide keyword on our website. WIN. W-I-N. WIN. Enter it now on our website, realradio.fm. Good luck.
Home of the world-famous Game of Magnets. This is the...
Show, the podcast, the live stream, the News Junkie, whatever you want, go to thenewsjunkie.com right now and learn all you need to know about the show. Follow along with everybody, thenewsjunkie.com/share. If you hear about Game of Magnets, the world famous Game of Magnets, you can always get on board, gift a sub to Secret Shows, grab one of those. Got some exclusive stickers that are going to be coming with some of those going out and other stuff that are nice little bonuses for those of you who are cool enough to gift Secret Shows to other users. Thank you for doing that. Do it on the website. You'll see the little gift icon. Follow the instructions. Now, we got a couple of things to get to. I guess Trump is kind of vague booking a little bit here over in the White House. Like, oh, we got something big. There's something big coming up. But it didn't sound like he said what it was. So let's listen into the White House.
We'll have maybe before we're going to, as you know, the Middle East and Saudi Arabia. We're going to UAE and Qatar.
All right.
And
going to the Middle East?
I guess Monday night. Some of you are coming with us. I think before then we're going to have a very, very big announcement to make.
All right, so he's saying before they go to the Middle East, there'll be a very, very big announcement.
Announcement of an announcement. I love those.
That's two varies. That's two things.
Like as big as it gets, and I won't tell you on what, but it's going to, and it's very positive. I tell you if it was negative or positive. I can't keep that out. It is really, really positive. And that announcement will be made either Thursday or Friday or Monday before we leave.
Come on.
But it'll be one of the most important announcements that have been made in many years about a certain subject, very important subject.
So, okay, this is a lot.
I love this. I'm intrigued.
A certain subject, a very important subject. It's before we're going to the Middle East. It's either Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or maybe Monday.
Okay.
That's about all we know. Oh, and it's the biggest announcement like this in the last several years.
Very, 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 very.
One of the most important announcements that's been made in many years about a certain subject. I don't know. I mean,
you want to play some bets?
Well, the things that come to mind immediately, Sabrina, are like, if it's about going to the Middle East, obviously you would think, is this some sort of agreement to end the war between Israel and Hamas? And is it related to that? He didn't say that it had to be to do with, that it was going to be focused on the Middle East.
He just said it was positive.
He just said it was positive. And the other thing would be something about Russia and Ukraine, because he's been very focused on that. But I don't know. I mean, it better be big. It'll be one of the most important announcements that's been made in many years about a certain subject, he said.
I'm going to take this with a grain of salt because they said the same things about the JFK files as well as the aliens. So
Epstein files too.
Epstein ones,
somebody says it's going to be Grand Theft Auto release date. It'd be great if Trump was like, "Here it is. I've got the info for you."
Big as it gets.
All right,
and I won't tell you on what.
Big as it gets,
but it's going to, and it's very positive. I tell you if it was negative or positive. I can't keep that out. It is really, really positive.
It's positive. Really,
and that announcement will be made either Thursday or Friday or Monday before we leave. But it'll be one of the most important announcements that have been made in many years about a certain subject.
I have no idea what this is going to be, but it's
like
big.
A Sean teaser for an event we have coming up.
Bet your ass. Man knows how to tease things. He's got a teaser for us. I have no idea what the hell it is. But I'm interested, and it better not be a flop like Epstein and JFK. I told you guys those things were going to be flops. This better be something juicy.
Well, also, I mean, are we even certain that the things that Trump thinks are positive are things that we would also think are positive?
Great
I don't know. And he said it's positive, not negative. I want to tell you about that. He
Couldn't
said
keep that in.
It's about something that's very, very, very important, and the rest is question marks. That's all we got right now, unfortunately.
So Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday the following.
Some point in time between Thursday, Friday, or Monday, we'll hear this announcement. And we'll tell you when it comes out. If you hang out with us, we'll let you know what it is.
I don't even know if we're going to know. Now every announcement from now until then, I'm just going to go, is that the thing?
Now, how much of a slap in the face if he's like, I've come out with a new Trump card?
That would be.
Now I am a
If he was hawking NFTs or hawking something that's for his personal gain and he did it like that, that's not that'll be a bad look. It better be something big.
Not cool, bro.
C-Lane, curtain up, quick question. This is our second break of the hour, correct? Yeah?
Yes, we are. After we come back, it's
Final segment.
Yeah.
Dispatches, stories.
Because I had a minor heart attack thinking that we hadn't gotten any breaks in and that we were this far through.
No,
but I'm glad to hear that is not the case.
I got you covered.
Over in Seattle, the Seattle Police Department was embarrassed a bit. They're battling with Antifa because they let these losers just keep doing whatever they want to do in Seattle and some of these other lost cities. I don't know why. Take people who are breaking the law and put them behind bars. Let your city go to S in a handbasket. Or maybe just start enforcing laws. That's one way to do things. When they're breaking laws, you should throw them behind bars. But here's the Seattle police, and they came up against these Antifa people. And the folks, they're fully LARPed out. They got shields and helmets and everything. And they pushed the Seattle Police Department back down this hill that they were keeping them at, fully in retreat, all the police officers. I don't know what it says, P-O-E-T or something on the back of his, the cop's
Pause.
shirt.
Poet.
You said they're LARPed out with what? What do they got there?
They've got like helmets and shields.
Those
and all
shields are garbage cans that they've sawed in half.
I've seen that in a movie once.
Can.
I believe it was Hook.
Yeah.
Rufio.
These guys are all outfitted with enough to push the cops back and down the hill where they were trying to go up to talk to these folks. I had some other stuff, I think, out of these protests. I don't want to play this because I think they'll curse, but they were saying death to the police. Every police death is a victory for the resistance. The deranged
resistance.
That's what they said. And then they lit some stuff on fire, I guess. Again, I'll mute this because I think there's probably cursing. That's that same dumpster, I believe, on the hill they decided to take over. So maybe they'll let them do what they did last time, just take over a handful of blocks and
literal
do their
dumpster
own thing.
fire.
It's an actual dumpster fire in Seattle. They once did this for like 100 days straight, I think. So maybe they'll do it again. Just let them take over. They let the kids take over the campuses. They let these losers take over the streets and burn stuff. And let me know when you care about your city, Seattle, when you want to stop this from happening. People should be able to protest all they want and get out there and get their point across. But crimes are crimes. And you can't let these dumb LARPers control your city and ruin it. And far too many of these people, especially the most annoying people out there to me right now, are the people who see this and be like, oh, well, this is a real problem. Yes, it is a problem. Lawlessness is a problem. Letting people get away with crimes is a problem. I don't know why that is shocking or groundbreaking to you, but you should probably change your mind. I told you there was an update on these panic buttons. Sabrina, you missed this yesterday. But in New York City, they've decided to put 500 panic buttons in the bodegas there because it could get a little dangerous.
I got a bunch of panic buttons in front of me.
And C-Lane said, I think it was you, C-Lane, who said, the way these are made is if you hit the button, it gives the police a live video stream of your bodega.
Yeah.
So they can see whatever's going down. And
then get video evidence?
I guess, and then maybe tell them what they need to do to dispatch somebody out there. But here they are talking about this.
So the police need more security for us.
Elio Soto says he's experienced robberies before.
And the other store we worked before, they get robbed twice.
From robberies to violent incidents, bodega crimes have been a problem for a long time in New York City. But now the city is investing in a solution to help combat the crime.
Let me tell you something real quick. To you criminals and thieves out there.
Thank you for listening.
If you have decided in your moment of absolute selfishness that you are going to put somebody through the terror of robbing them and stealing from them, and your target is not some multinational conglomerate, giant corporation, but is some bodega in the middle of New York City struggling to make it and get by with their family business in 2025. Get the rope for those folks. That's the punishment. You want to go after these people and rob them at gunpoint, shoot them, go after them. These business owners just trying to creep by and eke out a profit. And they got to put bars up on all the windows because you scumbags come by all the time and do crap like this. And people give you excuses for it. No way. They should be put to death? Yes. Get the rope. For all these people that target these poor little business owners like this and use weapons to attack them and rob them in their stores. Yeah, I think we should have harsh punishments for people who do like that. It's the most vile and grotesque kind of thing that you could do to somebody who's just out there trying to make a living. These aren't big, giant corporations that are full of profits and fat cats. These are bodegas, dude. They're trying to sell a couple of things of ravioli and some Lucy Cigs to get by. Just absolutely disgusting. Anyhow, there you go.
They still live upstairs from those sometimes?
Sometimes they do, yeah. Sometimes they'll end up it's like Bob's Burgers.
Yeah.
You got like your restaurant on the bottom floor, and then you got your establishment, your house on top, and that's how you're doing. Well, let's see if he says anything else, this guy.
A $1.6 million initiative, the mayor says.
There's a button
that you'll immediately be able to hit.
It's little.
That is going to alarm the police. And it's going to be connected directly.
Yeah, I don't know, because it's like a hockey puck, what he's got there. It's real small.
Yeah, but I wonder, like, if Mayor Eric Adams didn't go, guys, somebody hand me a damn button so I have something to show the people.
Everything they had was like this big, giant, ridiculous
Just
thing.
go to the dollar store. I have a button over here that fortunately Fritz took the batteries out, because if I pressed it, we would have to actually dump it.
Is it one of the comical large things, like a red thing?
And it screams BS.
Right, yeah. That would be better, I think.
The thing he's holding looks like those things that Amazon was trying to peddle for a while, that you could just hit the button and it would reorder your Charmin. Like, they were trying that for a while. That was the future for Amazon.
Good call back.
Your bleach button and then your toilet paper button.
Nope, instead she just reminds you every single day. Seems like you're out of 40 pounds of cat litter, Sabrina. Would you like to order more?
Reorder buttons were going to be their thing, but they weren't. It's got a little blue button here.
The local precincts, when you do the combination, it's going to give you access to the cameras in the store to see what is taking place and how we could get an immediate response.
Behind us, we have over 100 bodega owners here today.
Yeah, these aren't rich people, folks.
Guys, you don't know what we've been through.
United Bodegas of America spokesperson Fernando Mateo says this is long overdue. He expressed gratitude toward the mayor at a press conference announcing the panic button's cold silence.
All right, I don't think it sounds like the worst idea. Now that I'm seeing this, it seems like the bodega owners dig it.
And like I said, for only $1.6 million is what they said that there's going to be the price tag to equip all these 500-ish bodegas.
Yeah.
It's not a bad price.
Talk about bang for your buck and what the outcome of that could be. If you make neighborhoods more safe, if you make these establishments more safe so people feel more comfortable shopping there, if you help out these smaller businesses, that helps out everything in the long run. I'm fine with that. All right, we're going to get to your final dispatches, stories that didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Share the Show Tuesday. That is coming up next on the News Junkie.
Real radio is the Jim Colbert Show.
Today on Big Show, a simple test that can tell you if you'll make it to 100 years old, plus the best and worst states to be a cop. We'll do What'd You Do That's New. For trivia, it's tickets to sold-out John Mulaney and AC/DC, and we'll end it up with It's Only Money. Plus 4 opportunities to win $1,000 and your calls, text, and talkbacks.
The Jim Colbert Show, today at 3 on Real Radio 104.1.
I'm Fox 35 Storm Team meteorologist Jessica Dobson with a check of your Central Florida forecast. And for our Tuesday, we're going to see another hot day. Afternoon highs climbing into the upper 80s and low 90s. High of around 90 today in Orlando. We'll see about a 40% chance of some afternoon scattered showers and thunderstorms. And these will be sticking with us just about every single day this week, and especially into the weekend with a 70% chance of rain on the way for Saturday and into Mother's Day. From the Fox 35 Storm Team, I'm meteorologist Jessica Dobson.
This report is sponsored by True Green. Summer is better with True Green. Get the best lawn at the best price. For a limited time, get 75% off your first treatment. Don't wait. Sign up at truegreen.com today and let the pros handle the work while you enjoy the results. Restrictions apply.
Mom packed your lunches, carpooled like a champ, and never once left you at soccer practice. Pay her back with her favorite cocktails on demand. The Bartisian cocktail maker crafts premium cocktails with the touch of a button. No mixing, no measuring, just bar quality bliss in under 30 seconds. From a passion fruit margarita to an espresso martini and everything in between, she can have whatever she's in the mood for. Forget the guesswork. Bartisian uses real ingredients, no mystery syrups or artificial flavoring, just fresh juices, extracts, and premium bitters. She can even customize the strength level, from a mocktail to a strong cocktail. And the best part, zero cleanup. This year, skip the flowers, skip the robe. Give her something she actually wants, a cocktail her way, whenever she wants it. That's the one. Get $50 off now through Mother's Day at Bartisian.com/mom. That's BARTESIAN.com/mom.
Hey everybody, Jim Colbert here for Eustace Roofing. Look, hurricane season is approaching, and if you think there's a possibility your roof could give up the ghost, call my friends over at Eustace Roofing. You will be in great hands. These guys have been doing this since 1959, 65 years, making sure that Floridians are safe in their homes, and they do it with great craftsmanship and tons of integrity. Not to mention they serve all of Central Florida, and they even offer no-interest financing. Call these guys for an estimate today. They run the cleanest site in the business. It's EustaceRoofing.com. That's EustaceRoofing.com.
Show off your new smile with Solid Bite. The dentists at Solid Bite use the latest techniques and technology to give you the smile you've always dreamed of. Call Solid Bite in Melbourne now.
Go Mike Squad. Carman Squad, FNC, double time now. Who is our chatter of the day? Who is it? Who's the standout? Nominations accepted right now. Who's our chatter of the day? I have about 3 minutes left, and then we're going to wrap up the show. There have been some good comments. There have been some good chat messages for sure. It's always Bootsy, probably on YouTube. Ryan Annie, it's me, says AD. Alicia, congratulations, Alicia. You were nominated. I do remember some of your comments today. I do remember your chat messages. They said you couldn't do it, but look at you go, Alicia. Congratulations. Folks, let me tell you a little something about Alicia. Alicia is the best of the best. She is not only slick and funny, she's well-dressed and hip. She's a cool cat. People love her, and you should love her too. So that's why she's our chatter of the day. Rand says, I must have missed this chatter of the day thing. We have been doing this for 14 years, Rand. At the end of every stream, I pick a chatter of the day, and they get either $5,000 cash or nothing. So far, everybody's gotten nothing. 2 minutes. Alicia abandoned YouTube for Twitch? Maybe she's smart. Maybe she wants to go over there with that crew. What's the better experience? What's the better streaming platform? Not just the one that you're on, but for chat, for streaming, for being able to do stuff like, interact with the show. What's the best platform, YouTube or Twitch? I say YouTube. Because I love Twitch chat, but with YouTube, you can scrub back and forth, and I think that's a real win. Make Alicia a mod? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know about that. Maybe. Coming back.
Of identity theft every 5 seconds in the United States. Fortunately, there's LifeLock. LifeLock will monitor hundreds of millions of data points a second for threats to your identity. And if your identity's stolen, a U.S.-based restoration specialist will fix it guaranteed or your money back. Save 40% your first year with my name, Clay, as your promo code at LifeLock.com. LifeLock. For the threats you can't control, terms apply.
The new iHeart app just looks better.
The best feature of a car radio on the app.
It's the presets.
Super easy.
And thank you for keeping it free.
Get in on what everyone's talking about and get the new and improved free iHeartRadio app today.
Meal planning is work, so let Fresh from Florida help. Learn what's in season, browse hundreds of recipes, and get tips from Chef Justin by visiting freshfromflorida.com. Eat healthier with Fresh from Florida. There's sunshine in every bite.
This earful of Rail Radio is sponsored by RC Hill Mitsubishi, Highway 1792 in DeLand.
They're best friends, unless they're fighting. Are they fighting? It's the news.
That didn't make the cut. And today I learned to wrap everything up for a Tuesday. Thanks, folks, for hanging out with us on a Share the Show Tuesday. We couldn't do this without you. We appreciate you. We love you. Quick note, if you're one of our podcasters, and I know it's only a little tiny bit of you podcasters, like a small percentage, but it's such a big, annoying problem, this podcast skipping, that I want to make it a mission to try to fix this for all of iHeartRadio, which... Great idea, Sean.
He's a hero.
You can go to thenewsjunkie.com/skipping. Thenewsjunkie.com/skipping. And if that's happening to you, fill out everything on that sheet, because I tell them people are complaining the podcast is skipping. And they go, well, what phone are they on? What is their IP address at the time the skip happens?
Wait until you send
IP
those
address.
forms.
Yeah, they want the IP address when on the device and through the connection when it skips.
Oh, please. Like my mom's going to be able to tell me what her IP address was when the podcast skipped.
What is myip.com? If you have the skip, check that and fill out this information. I need to know the podcast and the part of the podcast where it skipped. They won't do anything for me. They won't help me help you unless I get all the information. So I built a page for you at thenewsjunkie.com/skipping. Thenewsjunkie.com/skipping. Fill out the information. I'll send it along and we'll get you fixed. So at least you have that.
That being said, let's do the next episode.
Oh, I see. The skipping part.
No, this is not the next episode, folks. If you made it this far, Sealand is lying to you.
We're skipping.
You are at the end
What?
of the show,
What?
unfortunately.
What?
They said that there is a big fentanyl seizure. I don't know. Do we really care about that? That's a big deal.
Not
but
the Fenty.
is it exciting?
This multi-agency operation
Hold on, pause.
led by...
She going to tell us how many people would have been killed?
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Because they just had a seizure of fentanyl that they said would have killed, and the number they gave was like a third of America. Just wiped out, just a third. Like, it was such a big number that I go, okay. But they said, we saved X lives. You saved a third of America.
Apocalyptic numbers, like 400 million people.
By DEA with our local, state, tribal, and federal partners targeted one of the largest and most dangerous drug trafficking and foreign terrorist organizations in our country.
All right.
The DEA seized...
What'd you get?
11.5 kilos of fentanyl, including an astounding approximately 3 million fentanyl pills. The largest seizure in our nation's history.
Enough.
These are the pills in the bags right there.
Don't touch them.
Takeaway?
Bottom right.
Main bottom right. Never mind.
The head of this organization, Sinaloa organization, here in the country illegally, 6 of these guys and women here in the country illegally. His name is Alberto Salazar Amaya.
Oh, they got like all the people who were busted and then like guns and stuff that were seized along with it. Sounds like a lot. Sounds like that's a good thing, getting fentanyl off the streets.
Are they not going to do it?
Yeah, no, they didn't. That's the end, I think. Unless do you want me to ride the last 20 seconds out? It's fine.
No.
See Lane's move.
He is the leader, and
bad.
he was living in Salem, Oregon. With him, they got millions of dollars, cash, cars, but the drugs were in Albuquerque, Phoenix, and Utah. That's how insulated these drug dealer cartel leaders make themselves.
All right, well, we'll never know, but it would have killed a lot of people.
Thanks,
I'm just
Pam.
guessing. All right, a couple of emails
Bring
here
my
at the
fentanyl
wire.
calculator.
Peter says about the Trump announcement, my thought is he's going to announce that Saudi Arabia is joining the Abraham Accords with Israel. Okay, if you're very into Middle Eastern stuff, that might be a mildly big announcement. Some long near-death experiences, which I'll try to work in on the show tomorrow. Hang on. Actually, while I think about it, mark is unread. All right, there you go. We'll work some of these in tomorrow, the ones that didn't make it. For now, it's time to do something different. That's right, friends. It's time to do our very final, last ever on the show today.
These are the final dispatches, but Sean will probably only play one.
Little do you know, Mr. Songman. We'll see what we get in. Let's refresh for the latest. Here goes. Here's Johnny Cinco.
So I'm listening to the News Junkie, of course.
All right.
While I'm sitting here waiting to pick up my daughter from school.
Thank you.
And I don't think I've ever heard a more passionate defense of our nation's bodegas.
That's what I'm here for.
If you steal a bag of 99-cent Doritos from any bodega under Sean Watson's watch.
You are not listening, buddy. Fatality.
Dare I say, Sean Watson is bodega man?
Maybe. I might be. It wouldn't just be for stealing Doritos.
Yeah,
but if you
pocketing a pack of gum is not the death penalty here. It's the gunpoint, the terroristic robbing of the cash register.
If you harmed any of these people, I really don't care what happens to you. I really don't care. There's just scum people. There's some really bad humans we need
Well, they got big buttons to
get
press
rid of.
now.
All right, here we go. Let's get the hell out of here. Let's do Today I Learned.
The following information may make you feel smarter, but will not actually increase your IQ. So don't get cocky. Now it's time for what we call Today I Learned.
It is Today I Learned for a Tuesday, May 6, 2025. Today I Learned this guy.
John Mayer?
Post Malone. That's right, Post Malone. He found out that other patrons at a Houston bar where he was had covered his check. And he
so
said,
cute.
waitress, can you charge me for just anything so I can leave a tip? She rang up a bill for $1 and he tipped her $20,000.
Oh my God.
He seems like a nice guy. I really like Post Malone. And finally, Today I Learned this band.
I looked out this morning.
REO Speedwagon?
Damn it.
Oh, no.
Chicago?
It's a city. It's a city
Boston.
name. Boston's right. That's okay. Boston, More Than a Feeling is the name of the song. When this was recorded, Boston wasn't even a real band yet. It was just one dude, Mr. Tom Schultz, in his basement, all by himself, making this tune. And now, it's a big one. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We do appreciate it. We're back tomorrow after the, same time, same place. Miss any of the show? Get the podcast over